Hello and welcome everyone back to Tales on Tap. It's Tuesday night. It's bonfire night, so it's not quite as spooky as it was last week, but there's still a spooky element to things going on here, as we will soon get into. But first, there are a few other spooky faces that I need to introduce you all to, and here they are. Dan's typing something, so he probably hasn't hit the button yet. Now he has. There they are. There they are. Everyone's here.
Hello, everyone.
All of your usual happy faces are with us again this week. But before we can get to our usual Dungeons and Dragons escapades, we have a few things to get through first. We're going to start off with a couple of words from our sponsors. So, Natalie, can you take us through one of those first?
Absolutely. So if you head over to Valkyrie RPG, you will find a lovely selection of all things TTRPG, from dice to terrain to t-shirts to goodies to hang around your neck. Yes, if you do like their stuff, make sure you put Tails 10 at checkout and you'll get an extra 10% off just for being our friend. And they also have subscription boxes, which are Tails 10 does not work on, but they are heavily discounted already.
Indeed, something to consider there for Christmas, maybe. Just around the corner. From one sponsor to another, Dan, what can you tell us about our other sponsor this evening?
Well, what I can tell you is it's time to put on music, it's time to prep your fights, it's time to get your maps from Tom Carter's Battlemaps tonight. If you want... Yeah, exactly. Always theme it. If you want the best digital and real tokens and Battlemaps around to make the most inspirational, celebrational, muppetational battles you can possibly make, head over to Tom Carter's Battlemaps, find his stuff, purchase what you want, and support creators in this space.
I don't believe that he doesn't write this out every week.
No.
Right.
Spends the whole week doing it.
I straight up...
Muppetational? That's not something that comes up on the spot.
Right.
No, definitely not.
I find it hard to believe, Dan, that your improv is as good as that. I'm joking. I do believe it.
He's a D&D streamer.
I know. I do believe it. You're right. There's no need for me to be that mean.
Scripted, Chris. We all know it's scripted.
Indeed. Well, if you weren't here, that Muppetational thing might have thrown you through a loop. But there is ways that you can catch up, or at least get slightly clued in on what happened in previous weeks via our social medias. Evan, can you tell us about a little bit what's going on there?
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of someone who's basically writing stuff the entire week up until like the day before stream, that's me. If you follow us on any of our social medias, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then what the hell are you doing? Go to every social media site. We're there, and there's always fun things happening, at least from my part. We have these out of context posts that I keep posting because I think they're fun, and I'm having a great time asking people for suggestions because my ideas are starting to run out. That's how tricky these are starting to get with the campaign that Chris is rolling, and I'm afraid of what A Distant Journey is going to bring later on because
Do not
shit.
fear. Do not fear. Yes, thank you. Go on.
We are going to ramp up a few things on social media. I want your guys' opinions. So if you're on social media, write to us, ask us questions, bring in suggestions if there's something that you want to see, because I'm on there every day and I'd love to talk more with you guys, talk about episodes, talk about whatever's happening. If you have questions about what's going on behind the screens, because Lord knows we have a lot going on minutes before we start streaming. If you wonder anything, just at us at any of these sites and I'll make sure to get back to you or write a post about it.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Also, soon, a return of clips.
Yeah.
Clips will be returning. So give those a little like, get on there, have a look at those. But you can watch what we have done in previous sessions and in previous campaigns even in a little more detail than is shown on social media. Han, where can they find that?
Well, if you roll on over to YouTube, you can catch up on all of our weekly VODs, which are uploaded every week, most of the time. Do not hold us to that. They will get there eventually. You can also find previous campaigns, other, how-to D&D episodes, interviews that we've had with others. Forgive the fireworks in the background from somebody. You're gonna get a lot of that tonight. But yeah, go and head over to YouTube, give us a like, a follow, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and yeah, catch up on our previous stuff.
Indeed, you can find all previous episode of Aerilon Sins of the Peacekeeper, our previous campaigns. Sorry, you had something to add there, Han?
Oh, it's just you clearly can tell that I do not script my bits.
Nothing we do is scripted, as you can tell. And finally, there's a few things coming up that I'm sure, Dan, you would like to tell us all about.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and get this through as quickly as possible because there is fireworks going off outside my house. So I'll apologise in advance. But there's lots of things on the horizon for Tales on Tap. Obviously, we're in no rush to get to the end of this campaign, but in the near future, into the new year, there will be the return of Aerilon: A Destined Journey. We're going back into Campaign 2, but not as you knew it. Few twists right from the get-go. So that's coming in the new year. We are also looking at our next 12 months diary dates in terms of conventions and other events. And thinking of events, we've got one more this year in Dragon Meet, where I'll be going down there to take part in a D&D pantomime. So if you want to see me dressed up and saying, "He's not fucking behind me," then then Dragon Meet in London last weekend in November. We have been working a little, quite hard over the last week or two in terms of improvements. As you can see, the setup and the overlay has had a bit of a rework this week. The chat box has changed and a few things have been moved around. You can see more of our faces now on screen, which is brilliant. We are going to continue to improve. There's other little bits that you'll kind of catch throughout the next few sessions. So keep your ears tuned and your eyes peeled, because there's lots changing on the Tales on Taposphere in the very short months period. I don't know how to finish that sentence. My brain just went, nope.
You just did.
Yeah,
you just did.
But one thing, and it is quite selfish of me, but one thing that I do want to announce, which I am personally very, very happy about and proud of, I am now a professional game master for Roldark UK.
Oh, you're always professional in my eyes, Dan.
Yeah, man.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you very
Congrats,
much. So, yeah, I'm now associated with Roldark as a professional game master. So, if you are in the UK and you want to book a game, you never know. You might see this fuck ugly face at your gaming table, running you through a very mediocre adventure. I'm joking. It won't be mediocre, but not in the reviews at least, because I'll make sure. Anyway, enjoy the show.
Indeed, enjoy the show. But before you do, one little slight thing we need to cover. If you do watch us live here on Twitch, the home of Tales on Tap, as they advertise, you can subscribe to us by giving a measly sum. I think it's about £5 a month to help support us in our stream. However, Christmas coming up and all that kind of stuff, Cozzy lives. So we can understand if that's not possible. However, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get one free subscription a month. If you use that with us, we get the money. You pay nothing extra. It's free money, and it comes straight out of Jeff Bezos' pocket, which we like.
Yes.
So please consider doing that. Link your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account. Drop us a sub. Always makes us smile. You might even get a little thank you and a shout out if you do it while we're streaming. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can still do it when we're offline. Just click the link down in the description, or the dungeon as we call it, and it will take you to our Twitch account. And even if we're not live, you can still subscribe to us. So go and do that. Anyway,
the ASMR all of a sudden.
Exactly. Yes. And indeed, thank you, Natalie, for the new overlays. Very well done. Thank you all for showing up again a week, both at this table and here in the audience. We're about to kick things into another episode of Aerilon, Sins of the Peacekeeper, right here on Tales on Tap. Last week on Sins of the Peacekeeper, on their second case, the ragtag division led by the Regent was set about trying to find an associate of their division, a Waldron Barbazan, who had not checked in with the Regent during a scheduled meeting. Very odd behaviour for an individual such as this, who usually keeps to himself apart from on official business or when pursuing his career as an author. They went to his manor in the Highcrest district of Valvaris to try and find out what had become of this individual. They met at the door a rather surly, rather dismissive butler who they eventually managed to force their way through and into the property to question a little more his staff and also investigate the premises. Lumiel found some clues there which led them to a underground labyrinth of some ancient civilization, on top of which the manor had been built. While investigating further in, they found a large stone portal deactivated and several strange purpley pink crystals around which seemed to be attached. They also discovered a number of hidden illusory doors which opened once given the correct command. This led them to the mechanisms which operated the portal, and upon starting to figure things out and activating the portal in the main room, Marcus, who had been investigating some strange boxes in one of the adjoining areas, was stabbed in the ribs, and these boxes began to animate into strange creatures of artifice. Modrons began to flood into the room, knocking Marcus back and surrounding the party. At that point, a strange metallic individual appeared from behind the once extinguished portal, now active, thanked them for their help in activating the portal, having not been able to work it out himself, dived through the portal, but not before shooting with a firearm one of the crystals which gave it its power. Left with the decision to try and reactivate the portal and escape within, or to face down the Modrons, the party decided to enter the fray and defeat them. And defeat them they did, quite handily, though with quite a few injuries, particularly Marcus, who took the brunt of the assault. But working together, tactically, supporting each other, keeping each other alive and in good health, maneuvering each other around the battlefield, they managed to defeat their foes. Reactivating the portal with one of the spare crystals that Arturius had found, they entered to find more portals. They investigated the area and discovered that most of the tracks that led through this area headed through the central portal. And as they headed through the central portal, they were met with more portals. They racked their brains trying to figure out how to make it through what seemed to now be a labyrinth of portals. Marcus discovered a strange etching or chalk mark beside one of the archways that held these gates, while Jax remembered a code that Lumiel had discovered in the office of Waldron Barbazan above. Torn between whether to follow the chalk marks or the code, they entered again through the central portal and found themselves confronted by more portals. This continued on, trying to decipher whether to follow these chalk marks or the code left by Barbazan. Eventually, Jax committed, went with his gut, and sent himself through the second to final portal. As he did, the rest followed, and they were met with something of a leap of faith. Atop a large obsidian platform, 30 feet below them, lay 3 more portals. Though this time it seemed that there would be no possibility to return once the choice had been made, as they would need to cast themselves into the darkness. Steeling himself, Jack leapt into the first portal on the left, followed quickly by Lumiel flying through. As Jax reached the other side of the portal, he was thrown upwards, carrying the inertia of his descent, and landed in another chamber. Gave a few tugs on the rope back to Arturius, signaling that things were safe and that the correct decision has been made. They all dived in, some landing more successfully than others, as it was quite a long drop that they were flung from. And they found themselves in a very similar purple glass, stone, marble, whatever the construction of this labyrinth was, faced by a stone door. And they heard a voice echo through the halls. As the two stone doors before them began to creak open, they heard call out from the darkness. Something I'm just looking for now.
I remember it differently last week. That's not what I don't think he said that last week.
He said, they walked through the door of my office, bathed in shadow like the approaching dusk on a long, cold day. A real rough and tumble gang, but I could smell the good fortune on them. Before I could trust them, though, those fortunes needed to be put to the test. And as another stone door opened, stepping through a strange-looking individual. Dan, can you bring us to the battle map screen? Just so that we can get one final look at this chap before he disappears once again. You see this individual with a strange texture to his skin and peculiar anatomy. Almost that more of a cartoon drawing than a biological entity. His skin in the darkness, muted, almost like fabric. His jaw, a unflinching flap of felt. Not belying his emotions. Simplistic. Almost like a Muppet. And as these words echoed through the chamber, he stepped back in through the stone door. And before you, 3 large scything blades begin to backwards and forwards across the pathway in front of you. What would you guys like to do?
This is just getting weirder and weirder. Fuck me.
So we can all see that, right?
I could have sworn. I mean, I might be wrong. I don't know many. I think that was Detective Digby. Like the Detective Digby.
Like from the book?
Are you telling me that we're being tested by a fucking comic book character?
Not comic book character. They are respectable novels.
Wait.
And you're saying that this is the protagonist from said respectable novels?
So,
The protagonist is a puppet?
right,
Got
question
it
for
by
the DM.
singing blades?
Do
Sure.
I know? Have I seen him in this form before? Does he look like a Muppet in the books, or does he? Is this just like a Muppet characterization of him?
All of the Detective Digby Dungeon series books have quite artistic cover art. In most of those, he is depicted in a very human form, quite a noir. And it does touch a nerve for you because it is quite sort of comic book style on the front, but the books are books; they're not comics. But no, you've never seen him in any kind of puppet form before. But unmistakably, the long beige trench coat and the trilby tipped over the eyes is unmistakably Detective Digby Dungeon.
Just for point of clarity, he's now left.
He has re-entered through the stone doors on the other side of the swinging blades, and that stone door has now closed.
Okay.
Legs. You said stepped through. Does it have legs, or is it just like a floating torso?
It's interesting because based on your passive perception, it's still quite dark down here. He has the kind of the Muppet walk, where he's like he kind of like does that as he walks, and it's more of like a bob from side to side. You didn't weren't able to see through the darkness whether he has legs.
Did I see an arm underneath him? No.
Well, hold on. So, my theory. I mean, you said that these portals were nowhere near, like communication distance for the tails now, right? What if we are in another dimension and we're in a dimension where everybody's like that?
I mean, you're not.
You notice
not.
at this moment.
Yeah, but I'm not from this
It's
dimension.
taken the form of a puppet. No, I'm joking.
I thought it was serious for a second.
For a second, I was going to lose my mind.
Oh, don't! It was so tempting.
Okay, so we need to follow this dude, right? We need to get through this
If
next
anyone's
room.
going to know anything about Barbazan, it's going to be his main lead character, surely.
Well, I would assume so. Are the things swinging?
Yep.
Okay. Can I, using my senses, I want to step forward to here, to the doorway, next to Marcus, sort of kind of drown out the conversation around me, and listen to the timing. And see if it's like, or if it's like, I'm seeing if it's like,
check, please.
like Skyrim, Bleak Falls, Barrow dungeon where I have to like sprint through.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I think Marcus
Meantime-
would also try and basically count the swings, the second between the swings.
Okay.
While they're counting the swings, I want to look more at these like rotary-looking systems at the side.
Yep.
And whether the rotation of those is what's affecting the undulation of the blades or not.
Okay, interesting. So you do notice that at either side of this central walkway, there does appear to be a pit. And within those pits, not necessarily a pit, it's only about sort of 2 foot shallow. And within either side of this walkway, there are these large turning logs with spikes on them. Let me have a perception check from you, Marcus.
I rolled an 11, DM.
11. They appear to be out of time. So, for example, the back one seems to be swinging a lot quicker than the front two. The other two, you can kind of work out a rough timing of them, but the back one is moving at a much greater speed, which would make it difficult to just dash through at an opportune moment.
Okay.
Did you say perception?
Yes.
All right.
Actually, I'd say this is probably survival. Give me survival.
Survival. Okay. Cool.
And Jax, can I get Tinker Tools check?
Big money.
To survival, but it's all right. That's a 15.
15. Yeah. So you get sort of roughly around a similar thing to Arturius. You are able to discern that the front ones are moving a lot slower than the other two. You pretty much feel like you could get that timing down quite easily, but it would take a fairly active check to get past the last one and remain unscathed. So you feel pretty confident about the first two. The last one, you haven't quite worked out the timing to get through it in a quick dash. Jax?
12.
12. You begin to start looking to see if these things on the side are connected somehow. There doesn't appear to be any synchronization between the two. These things are turning quite slowly, but you're sort of able to start looking along some of the mechanisms that run along the roof of this chamber, connected to the blades. Those mechanisms lead to behind these spinning logs.
So it looks like the logs are almost protecting the controlling device, almost. I could interpret it that way.
You could interpret it that way, indeed.
And while they're all doing all their checks, can Lumiel look towards the back doors where the puppet disappeared? Is there any sort of switch or lever that she can see? Maybe any sort of on-off mechanism that she is having a little look?
Sure, give me a perception check, please. Gil, you doing anything during this time?
Yeah, so while everyone seems to be looking at the room full of danger and death, Gil's going to turn around and look towards the portal they just came through, and pulling one of the many pens he has just about his person, is just going to sort of throw it onto the area where the portal is, because he couldn't go back through. He's just trying to see if it's going to bounce off of something that's going to keep it, like, if something's physically keeping it closed, essentially, like glass or whatever.
Okay. You throw something onto the portal, and it, as if you've thrown it onto a trampoline, but it bounces away with more force than it landed with. So it appears to be there is a force repelling anything from entering back the way you came.
So where the portal is there anything beyond that? Or is there just like a 5-10 foot and then the portal moves? There's a portal under the portal! Right.
No, there's
is
no
there
portal under the portal. No, this is wall. All around here is wall.
Right, okay. Alright, perfect.
I got a nat 20 for a 26.
Natural 20 for a 26. You gaze down the corridor, looking between the swinging blades as they interrupt your vision along the wall, along the stone, and everything like that. From your vantage point, you cannot see any switches upon the opposite wall. However, do you have dark vision? Sorry.
Check in. No.
Okay. You just catch a faint glint, kind of off in this direction.
Okay.
From
like
behind these things here.
Like on the wall?
There appears to be a space behind, and you see a faint glint. Something metallic on the other side.
Okay. Looking at these swinging blades, can I perceive if I fly above that I could get through them, like above them, if they're swinging like at body level? That it would be safer if I went like halfway through.
Yeah, so at their lowest point, when they are just touching the stonework, the blades themselves stand about 5 foot tall. So or 5 or 6 feet tall. They are huge sides swinging through this room, about 15 feet wide and about 5 foot tall. So it would be incredibly difficult for someone, even quite a tall person, to leap over them. And they are attached by large rods to the ceiling where these sort of hinges are swinging them. You suspect that it would be a lot easier for you to fly over the top, but you would still be dodging the sort of poles as they swing, but it would be a much easier thing to do if you were to try and do that. Whether your friends could follow in that manner is very unlikely.
I think I see something over there, and I indicate the space to the right.
Yeah, the wiring from the swinging blades or the connections, they're leading to behind those wooden beams. So, where have you spotted it, Lumi?
Just over there, and I indicate that back wall or back space.
I cast dancing lights and two to the both sides of the room, and then one through to the end of the room, so it's lighting up both sides and the back. Does that help?
Does that help me see what I can see?
It does.
You're muted.
It does much clearly illuminate that there is a space behind these large turning logs, spiked logs.
I think I could go and investigate that a bit. There might be a switch to turn these off. I obviously I can fly, so I think it's a bit more simple for me to go. A bit safer for me to go. Is there
any way you can look from a distance or just interact? Just don't touch anything before we know what it's going to do.
That very smart move. I will not touch anything, and I will come into the room fully, and I'll come to here, and I will fly up to as high as I can go. So I don't know how high the ceiling is. You're muted again.
Still muted.
Sorry.
There you are.
The ceiling is about 9 foot high.
Okay.
Sorry, much higher than that, about 13, 14 feet high as these things are swinging. The gap, if you imagine, there is flush walls with the walkway, but then there is about a foot clearance above and below the spinning logs and spikes that get through to a much shorter passage below, which is only about 5 feet tall. So the room you're in is about 12 foot tall.
Okay.
But then behind the logs, there's a much smaller passage.
Right. And now that I'm closer and it's more illuminated, can I see what is reflective?
From here, make me a perception check.
I'd like to just do something that might sound really stupid,
Yeah.
but I'd like to go into my bag and I'd like to pull out my water skin.
Okay.
And from where I'm stood, I just want to throw it in time to... I'm aiming for it to hit anything, if it is, and I just want to throw it down to see if these things are actually here or if this is just a big illusion.
Okay. You throw... make me an attack roll just to make sure that you can catch one as it's swinging.
16 on the dice, so 23-ish.
You time and you sort of underhand throw into the room your water skin as one of the as the first scythe begins to descend. It cuts it and water splashes all over this first area.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm
Yep.
going to just mark there that there's a bit of there's a bit of sogginess going on there.
That's all right. So, okay, so it's not an illusion. Lumi, do you have anything? If there's wires, Lumi, do you have anything that you can cut the wires with?
Who's been drawing little
Daggers
things?
and stuff.
Oh, that's
Trying
just a...
to do like a side view of like the
Ah,
sides.
yes, that's a good idea. So it's actually, I forgot I could do that. That's a genius idea. So if you were to look at this area here, what you'd see is so there's wall. This is the ceiling. There's wall, and then there's a little bit of a gap, and then there's your rotating things. But the thing is, the spikes are coming up almost flush with the gap, so it's still quite obscured.
Okay.
All right.
Do you see what I mean? So it's like that. So there's
there-
about a foot clearance, but there's
Okay, so there is a foot clearance.
but there are spikes moving in that foot clearance area.
Jack, stop firing your gun.
Just taking test shots.
Pow pow.
Right. So I can't fly over these spikes without.
You could try and time it correctly.
I'm going to try and time it correctly.
Let me get an acrobatics check from you, please.
Can I aid her in that
How?
by knowing the timings? Since I've been sitting here counting.
You got a 16, right?
Yep.
I'll say, based on your sort of counting and observations and stuff like that, you turn your attention to the spikes
Sorry,
and
15. 15.
how often they're sort of rotating around and things like that. You notice a gap around here where one of the spikes has fallen off and gives a good opportunity for Lumi to flip through if she's deft enough. So that will allow you advantage, but you will have to move slightly
Okay.
further into the room.
I will move
on.
slightly further into the room, and I will make that athletics check. You said
Uh,
acrobatics.
it's acrobatics to get through here, but you will be passing the first scythe.
DM.
Yep.
The rod that's holding the scythe and on that swinging mechanism, what's it made of?
From where you're standing, appears to be just very old, aged wood.
Fantastic. As Lumi's
Sturdy, aged wood.
brilliant. I'm going to take my greatsword.
Mhm.
Walk up to this one. As Lumi attempts, I'm going to swing with the flat of my blade. Swing with my blade at the rod.
Uh-huh.
if anything, just to give some momentum in the opposite direction with my blade.
see.
So,
I see.
so if it isn't going to cut through the wood, depending on my roll, I at least am attempting to slow the momentum down enough to give Lumi a better chance of making it through.
Okay, let me get an athletics check from you then, please.
From me?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, but I didn't even hit the desk. I just threw that under my computer.
This will determine whether Lumi...
That's a natural
That's
20 for a
Natural
27.
20.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Very nice. So with that natural 20, you swing your greatsword in its greatsword configuration, and it hits the shaft of the first scythe, and you brace it with your other hand, and you manage to hold it there just for about 2 or 3 seconds, negating Lumi's need to make a check to pass the first scythe. However, Lumi, you will still need to make a check to pass over the spinning spikes, but you have advantage on that thanks to what Marcus pointed out to you.
I got a 17.
17 is enough. You find that moment just where the one missing spike passes over, and you kind of spin around, fly at it, and then just tuck yourself in and kind of just corkscrew over the log as the spike comes up and just almost catches your foot. However, on the other side, you come into a space. And within this space, you see there are 2 levers. This appeared to be the one that was giving off a slight glint from your earlier natural 20.
Thank you, Artorius. That was helpful. There are levers over here.
Okay.
You said
How
don't
many
touch
do you see?
anything. 2.
No, well-
only 2 though.
Okay, well, there's no harm in just pull one.
So do touch something.
Well, yeah, like, we can't do anything from here, so, like, the whole point of you going over there was for you to do the thing now.
I'm winding you
touch
up,
it.
dude. Right. And I will.
I'm more just in shock that you called me Artorius, that I'm just went, ugh!
I'm pulling this lever, or lever, depending on where
Okay.
you're from.
You pull this lever back. Give me an athletics check.
Jack
Because
is
as you begin
Sorry,
to,
guys, my gun keeps going off.
because as you begin to pull this lever, you see that there's a build up around the mechanism where it's like almost like it's crusted over with age and rust.
Okay, so I do have a -1 to it, but I did get a nat 20, so for a 19.
There we go. You
Nice.
just you see these flecks of rust chip away and almost puff in a small cloud of red dust as the lever comes backwards. The spinning spiked logs stop. However, the scythes, the 2 remaining, well, actually, Artorius, are you still trying to hold the first scythe, or have you backed away now to let it keep swinging?
There you go.
As soon as Lumi went, I will step back.
Okay, all 3 scythes continue to swing, but the logs have stopped.
Did that do something? They still seem to be swinging.
Spikes have stopped.
Oh, so maybe this one's for the spikes and that one's for the. That makes sense why there's 2 then. Hold on. And she goes over, gives it another tug.
Okay, give us another athletics check, please.
Oh, not so great. That's a 3.
3. You sort of put all of your inertia, you're flapping your wings forward and backwards to try and tug this thing away, but just the rust is far too built up.
Oh, guys, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one stuck. I mean, I can give it another try, and what I'm going to do... Is it, like, down, away from the wall, or is it up, and I'm pulling it away from the wall? Which
You
way
are
am I
pulling
it?
it away from the wall.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to brace myself, like, my feet against the wall, and I'm going to try and push the lever now.
Okay.
I mean, I
Um,
know it's probably going to be a higher DC because I'm trying it again, but
Yes,
I'm
yes,
trying
yes. No,
something
but-
different.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, give us another athletics check, please.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, can I, if Gil was to get into position before this happens, can he see roughly where Lumi is, given that it's illuminated and stuff?
You have to sort of duck your head and sort of arch over to look between the spikes, which have now stopped. It's basically almost like looking through the the very fine bars of a cell right now. So you can see where Lumi is. You can see what Lumi's doing, but the details you kind of need to take a little bit more time to inspect. So if you wanted to do something quick, then
Yeah, so knowing that Lumi's trying again to do this thing, Gil's just gonna come and go, 2 seconds, I think I might be able to help you with this one. And I'm gonna use my mage hand at 60 feet to grab it and then use the pull action it can do to try and basically give aid to this. So I'm telekinetically pulling the lever as they push from the wall.
okay. Given that Mage Hand has a very weak lift and push ability, I'm just going to say, Lumi, I'm just going to say you can add +1 to this roll.
Okay.
On top of your current modifier.
Artorius shouts out, Lumi, believe in yourself, muster all the strength you've got. Believe it or not, our strength is with you. I will bardic inspiration that as well.
Nice.
So because I have the telekinetic feat, I have a telekinetic shove, which allows me to push people up to 5 feet if I do a thing.
Okay.
If I do that from her side instead and push instead of
does change things. That does change things. Sorry, my apologies. If it was just a standard Mage Hand cantrip, then I would have said it would just be a +1 because they're very weak. But given that you have a telekinetic superpower, we'll call it advantage.
Okay, so advantage and a plus d6.
Just don't roll the d6 yet. Roll your thing first. You might not need it, but you've still got bardic inspiration for the next however long. You might need it on something else.
Oh, okay. So that is a 16.
Okay, 16. You all in the main room notice that the final scythe stopped swinging.
All right, that helps a lot, Lumi.
Okay.
I think I can guide us through the rest of them.
Wait, there might be another couple. Wait, just wait there. There might be more switches on the other side. Let me investigate, and I mean, we can just investigate and see. Now these spikes have stopped swinging. Can I just fly through them,
Absolutely,
step through them? Yeah. And the back side has stopped swinging.
The final side has stopped swinging. This side, the log spikes have also stopped spinning.
Okay,
So you are able to see, thanks to the dancing lights, there is another area here. And again, as you fly through the spikes, which have now stopped spinning, you do see another couple of levers here.
I'm gonna grab the gun from Jax's hand. Fucking
It's not
stop
me. It must be the other guy. It must be the other robot guy. It's not me.
God damn it! People having fun on bonfire night outside my house.
Lumi, I'll just say, just make me one athletics check with advantage, just because we'll assume that you guys are doing the same Mage Hand assistance, but you still have the inspiration if you need it.
That's not bad. Got a 20.
Oh,
19.
Thanks. Get him out of the way, guys. Get him out of the way. Okay. As the other two levers are pulled, the first one is pulled. The first one on the left here is pulled. The middle scythe stops, and when the one on the right is pulled, the first scythe stops. All traps have now been deactivated in this room, as far as you know.
As soon as
You did it, guys.
Well done, Lumi. Really good job. I honestly didn't think you'd get out of that one. Like, with the whole spinning logs and the swingy things. Like, it was 50-50, but you did well.
I'm gonna have to return to your old name.
I'm gonna hold up Jax's gun and say, "You'll get this back later." And I'll start walking and looking at the floor.
I'll kind of slowly meander my way through to this door here. Kind of go to place my hand on it and then pull my hand back and just kind of turn to the rest of them and go, we have no idea what we're walking into, but is everyone feeling good?
Do you want to check it for traps?
So anyway, I just started shooting.
So I started blasting.
Well, someone else better take the lead because I'm really beat up.
Actually, this is kind of fun. Hey, you can have a
Gil
bet.
around to the sides, just one of his eyes really bloodshot, like still kind of bleeding from his. Like, yeah, I'm not doing so hot either, guys. This is not great.
Okay, I'm okay. I'll take the lead. I think we managed to avoid the other guy who would be our main source of conflict. I'm hoping this will just be a conversation. That I'm not the best at, but I can at least go first physically in and be a shield.
Lumi, do you know which lever it was to make this back scythe swing again?
That was the second one that I pulled on that side.
Do you think
So
you
that
can...
is-
Okay, so this is like this one here, right? You
Yes.
could just get across here and pull
Yep.
that lever to make that one start swinging again, right?
Maybe we can do the one that's in the front and not the one that's closest to us.
No. Okay, either way, we need to start these swinging things again. If that guy, if he's taken a wrong turn but is slowly starting to make his way back this way, we need to slow him down.
Okay. Does Jax want to come through before we?
No, just pull the lever.
Does want to come through?
That'll be fine.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, I will go and I will go around and I will start all three swinging again, because the spikes won't start swinging again. It was just the sides.
Indicate to me which 3 levers you're going to pull.
This one.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
And this one.
Okay. As you pull the final one, all 3 scythes start swinging again.
I'll just...
Yeah, and Marcus, you feel the wind as the final one straight past you.
Posture just immediately gets like corrected.
Yeah, I start to pucker a little bit.
And as Lumi rejoins the group, I just kind of press my shoulder to
Bang, bang.
the
bang,
door,
bang.
and then I open the door.
I think someone's not.
I'm actually timing this to the bangs. One sec. Raise my shield, open the door, and then just kind of like brace my shield up as I open the door and let people walk through.
Okay.
I
You
did that
push
right
the
quite well.
stone. You push the stone door, and it opens. And you begin to peer into the room beyond. It's a large room, very large indeed. Pillars encompass the central area. Give me a perception check, whoever's heading in first. I think Jax, you said you were going in first.
Yes. Hang on. 19.
19, okay. You see at the far end of the room from where you enter what looks to be a ramshackle study or laboratory of some kind. There are artifice tools, there are heaps and stacks of blueprints and tomes, some looking extremely old. There are various what look to be almost automatons in various states and stages of constructions upon tables. You also see cages, 2 on the left side at the far end of the room, 2 on the right side at the far end of the room. As I said, there are pillars all around the middle, and in the very center of the room there is a large plinth upon which sits an ornate, very old, intricate clockwork chest. However, closer to you, almost immediately as you enter the room, you see what looks like a card table. And standing on the other side, you see the individual who stepped out of the door as you first entered this area. But he's not alone. Either side of the table next to him are 2 similar looking individuals
Christ's sake.
of puppet make, though they're dressed much more in a normal townsperson type attire. And you see they are stood holding cards in their hand, looking to the door expectantly as you enter.
Oh, I want to go home.
The one to the bottom says,
Oh, you really got me this time, Digby. I could have sworn they weren't going to get through that.
and he throws a couple of gold over to Digby. He rolls a couple of gold across the table towards Digby, who slaps his hand down on top of the gold as they come towards him. And I knew they would from the moment I looked in when I first laid eyes on them. This was a different group. Much more canny and cunning than most others I've experienced on these dirty city streets. But what secrets did they bring? And what fortunes can be told? I thought to myself.
Do you have to narrate everything you do?
One of them asked me, do I have to narrate everything that I do?
Oh, fuck me, I'm gonna smash his head in.
I thought to myself, how ignorant one can be.
Gets a sharp dig in the ribs. Hey, let him do his thing.
But they weren't all stupid. Some of them appreciated a good mystery. Welcome in, friends, to Digby's Detective Agency. I'm Detective Digby Dungeon, and he tips his trilby hat even further down his face, never revealing his guise. Now I'm guessing you cats are here for one reason and one reason only. There's a mystery afoot, and you need old Detective Digby Dungeon's help in solving it, am I right?
I hate that we're about to say yes, but yes.
Yes! Yes, we are.
Do we have to?
Shh.
Look,
Yeah.
I don't agree with the pageantry here, but like the dude asked a straight question and he deserves a straight answer. Yes.
They seemed even more sure of themselves than they were of me.
I turn towards Arthur and just whisper, I'm gonna kill the Muppet.
Yeah, wait, just not yet.
He
Jack, give me a gun.
He raises one arm and beckons you towards the table. Well, before I find it easier to trust people when I know how good they can lie, and how lucky they are, how they can bend the forces of fate to their will, and whether there's someone out there looking out for them. I propose a couple of hands of cards. Just to break the ice.
What's the game?
One of them piped up, clearly the more inquisitive of the bunch. But they didn't look like the type of card players that I'm used to. Well, there's a couple of games, actually. What have we played in heats? A couple of rounds of Goblin Jack first, and then we'll move on to the real game. See who's worthy.
Do these games remind us of anything? Is this something that is common to play?
I'd like you all to tell me which of you has probably frequented a casino in their time.
Yeah.
I have some idea, but I'd like you to be honest and...
Never.
Okay. Jax, Marcus, Arterius, would your duties have taken you to a casino at any time?
I'm really struggling. So Jax's guns are misfiring, but effectively, I think I would have done before I lost my eyesight. So I kind of know the rules of certain games, but I don't know if I'm the best person to step up to play games that rely on looking at cards and knowing what is printed on a card.
Understandable. So we'll say Jax and Marcus, give me a history check, please.
If it helps, I also have proficiency in 3 Dragon Ante from my soldier background.
I would say that you would have advantage then.
I also, does this remind Lumiel of anything that has happened in any of the books? Was there any time that this was pulled as a trick, or does this remind her of anything that she's read before?
Make me a history check, please. Can I get your checks, please, guys?
17.
17?
26.
26. You both
I have a
heard,
plus 10 to my history.
you've both heard of Goblin Jack before. It's a simple game where you... Well, I'll describe to you the dice mechanics of it, but it's a card game. Very similar to Blackjack.
Okay, cool.
You roll 2d10. and then your goal is to make up as close to 21 as possible. Above 25, you bust, and you can roll a maximum of 5 dice. So you start with 2d10, and then you can roll an additional 3 if you wish. The objective is to get as close to 21 as possible. If you roll 25 or above, you bust. Understood?
So you want to get to 21 or to 20?
As close to 21 as possible. If you go over 25, you bust. So you can roll 23, 24, and if no one else is that close to 21, you still win. But above 24, you bust. Or above 25 and above, you bust. So it's like dice blackjack. 19. Okay, I'm going to bear that in mind for you, Lumi, because currently nothing is twigging your immediate. There's a couple of books which have dealt with like card games and casino things. Digby Dungeon is a very cliche kind of noir mystery detective thriller series. So these kind of themes are often brought up. There's a couple of books which come to mind, but you're not able to narrow down. But I'll keep that in mind if anything does come up which would hint towards something like that. You're keeping an eye out for it. Okay, so Jax and Marcus, you both know this. Marcus, actually, because you rolled so high, you also know a couple of tricks around this game. You've played it a few times. You feel like you know a
card counter.
There we go. There we go. So you might have a little bit of an edge on this game. But he invites you all to play.
Fuck it. Okay.
So, are we laying down cards or are we laying down our lives?
Can I do neither? Perhaps?
Are they dependent on one another? Like, do we have to do one to do the other?
Well, if you don't do one, you might end up doing the other. Like I said, I don't trust people around here unless I know whether the forces of fate are on their side.
Give me the cards. I'll play.
I'll play some
as
cards.
well.
Do you want me to read them to you, Arthur?
Kind of beside the point, right?
And to answer your question, big hair fella, you cannot participate if you want, but then I'll have to ask you to leave my office.
Oh, I don't like you and your flappy face. Fine, okay, I'll come and look at whatever it is you're doing.
You can't just say that someone has a flappy face.
He did
He
just
does.
call him
His
big
mouth
hair.
is just a hinge.
I didn't appreciate the insults from the tall, fuzzy-haired one.
You've got fuzzy hair. You're all made. Oh, this is just give me whatever it is you're doing. I don't know this game. I don't know how to play cards. I don't gamble. It's a stupid game for idiots. So just give me what you got and let's go.
It's
So
like
we're
trying
gonna-
to argue with fucking Kermit the Frog.
We're going to start out. Can I have everyone roll me 2d10?
2d10.
What does a D10 look like? Oh yeah.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Same.
Dice, I know it.
Oh!
Okay.
Poker
Digby.
faces, guys.
No, that's the next game.
Digby flips over a 3 and a 1. What did you guys get?
1 and an 8.
An 8, so you're on 9.
9 and a 6.
Ooh, so you're on 15.
Same.
15, okay. Digby.
Dina
I-
goes first, Digby says.
Oh, okay. Did you not want to know what I rolled?
Yes, sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I rolled a 10 and a 7. But I wouldn't know that I've rolled it. I pulled a 10 and a 7. I just kind of go, yeah.
Marcus kind of leans over to you, looks at your cards, and whispers in your ear. And Gil?
A 1 and a 1.
A 1 and a 1, okay. So with a 3 and a 1,
Dina goes first.
he pulls another card. It's a 4, taking him up to 8. Rolls another card. Fucking 6, take him to 14.
And final card.
A 7, taking him to exactly 21.
Well, would you look at that? Seems like luck is still on my side. Go on. Who's next?
He turns to the person next to him, which is you, Arturius, in the order. I'm just going to place you guys in a slight order around the table.
Okay, so I'm on 17. So we need a 4.
Or you can stick.
I need a 4. Gan gambles. Artorius doesn't.
Did you get a 4?
I got a 4.
Yes!
I immediately just go hit. I don't know.
Deals you a card. The 4 comes out.
As soon as I see the 4, I accidentally smack him in the side.
I got no fucking clue what's happening. Just going, yeah, sure.
The other 2 individuals gasp as this card comes out. The male puppet says over to the female puppet, "Oh, did you see that, Meryl?" And she said, "Quiet down, Allard." Lumiel, you recognize these 2 names.
Do
The
I
butler-
recognize them as bad guys or good guys?
You recognize them from the novel The Ballad of Lucinda Lucky
Okay.
from the Digby Dungeon series. This is Allard and Meryl Jenkins. In the story, Allard Jenkins was kidnapped, went missing, and Meryl Jenkins came to Detective Digby Dungeon to help find her husband. You continue to try and rack your brain about the plot, the twists and turns, and we'll come back to that shortly. But next up, Marcus, what did you roll?
So I started on a 9 with the 2 d10s.
Okay, you hit him?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's a 4. So 13.
13.
I'll stop there. That's an 8.
So we've got 2 of you on 21 so far. Digby Dungeon pipes up. Well, it seems like fortune is with these ones. Maybe a little too much fortune. I grew suspicious, but the game went on. Next up, Lumi.
Okay, so I had 15.
Mhm.
That's a 2.
Okay. Up to 17.
Go again.
Go again.
There's another 2.
Up to 19. Got 1 roll left if you want to take it.
2
Chris,
in
what-
10 chance.
While this is happening, can I sit there and silently divine sense, please?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm gonna go again. She's having fun. It's a 4.
4. So 23?
No, 23.
23. Okay. Sticking at 23.
Stick it.
Not bad, not bad. Seems like fate is with you guys. Lady Luck at your backs. Be careful. She's a vicious mistress.
His eyes glance over to Gil.
Your turn, big guy.
Oh no, sorry. And next up is Jax,
Jax.
isn't it? To Jax.
As he's doing this, because I'm imagining that Digby's dealing the cards, right?
Yeah.
I want to watch his hands, his shoulders, and his torso extremely closely.
Okay, give me a perception check, please.
Should I wait?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I'm hoping for 6.
That's a 7.
Okay, I got a 1, so I'm on 16.
Okay.
5.
5. Come on, 5. Come on, 5.
Don't roll high.
It's a 5.
Jesus!
No way. Wrong song. There you go. That's the song I wanted.
Nice.
Okay. The 2 other puppets both are now just kind of leaning in at the table, watching all cards, looking back at Digby as these cards are coming out. 3 of you hitting 21s. And finally, it comes to Gil.
Can we make it a full range? A full house, even. Full house.
So just out of curiosity, while everyone is dealing their cards and playing the game, seeing as he is the closest next to what was it, Allard?
Mm-hmm.
As the puppet leans in, just sort of looking around the table slightly, what can he see where the puppet stands? Because it's on the corner where he sort of stood, so like trying to get a full gauge view of this thing. What is below, essentially?
Make a perception check for me.
Is there an arm?
Yes, there's just people under the table. Perception.
Just find Waldron under there with fucking pulleys and rope.
Just a
Like,
fucking gnome running around.
it's not even them talking, it's him putting voices on.
Throw in his voice.
14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
You look around the table, and they appear to have very skinny little legs and shoes, and they're standing on the floor. There is no artifice or pulleys or people operating these individuals. They appear to be freestanding, free moving.
That's just unsettling. Sorry, what's going on?
Oh,
I caught him.
oh.
I caught the fuzzy-haired one trying to get a look at Allard's ankles, so I snapped him back to attention. Hey, you, buddy. We got a game to play here. Are you in or out?
What have I got to do? I got to get numbers?
As close to 21 as you can, but you better get close. If you don't get anything other than 21, you're out.
So I got 2 ones. That means I got 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
You've got 3 dice to make it up to 21.
And you guys did good, didn't you? You all seem pretty happy with what you just...
I didn't.
I don't know.
You did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm out. And he puts his 2 cards down and pushes them across the table.
Very well.
And he pulls out a pen from his jacket and a small notebook.
And what was your name there, good friend?
My name.
Your name.
I thought the greatest detective in the world wouldn't know what my name was.
The greatest detective in the world knows what questions to ask and when someone doesn't answer them truthfully. We detect answers. We don't start out knowing them.
My name is Artemis.
Persuasion check, please.
That'd be true.
That's why it's persuasion.
Persuasion?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Weirdly, I'm charismatic. Hey!
He already said he was suspicious of you, so this is going to take some convincing.
Dirty 20.
Day 20.
Artemis it is. Pleased to meet you, old fella. Have fun in the slammer.
He writes down your name, and Artemis, you are teleported into this cell down here.
Ah, for fuck's
I
sake.
immediately draw my greatsword and
I draw
point
my
it at him.
gun.
Hey now, guys.
The little puppet to the side of you.
Oh, no, please, sir. You don't want to do that. Detective Digby Dungeon's the most dangerous detective in the land, in the whole city. He can quick draw quicker than anyone. You'll only be getting yourself into a heap of trouble.
I'm gonna turn towards Lumiel, and just for a split second. Right, so let's say this is real. Is that true?
I mean, in the books, yes. I think we just play. He doesn't seem to be. You're right there, Gil. Right?
At least we know what happens when we don't play now.
See? Everyone's fine. He's still fine. We play. Everyone drops that. Doesn't drop. Everyone lowers their weapons.
The tension had escalated in the room. One of them didn't want to play by the rules, and that upset the blind one. Though he may be blind to the world around him, his blind rage clearly gives him a position. A position that I respected. Now there, friend, I'm not trying to cause anyone around here any trouble. We're all just trying to get to the bottom of this mystery.
I'm going to ask very politely, could you please release my friend from the cage? Will you stop shooting people? From the cage that you've just put him in? Please?
I appreciate you asking politely, but there's certain rules around here, and while you may have joined me in this game and come out on top, that gives you a little bit of leeway. But you came here for answers. You may explore my office as much as you wish, but if you want your friend to be free, and if you want to know why you're really here, we're gonna have to play another game. A different game.
I stow the greatsword, just kind of like rest my elbows on the table and just say blatantly out loud, I like playing games. I'm used to fucking winning them. Do you want to play a game?
Games is what I'm best at. The game is afoot.
Oh, I like
Pretty
playing.
sure
I like
that's
playing with.
plagiarism.
I was gonna say I like.
Don't say
I
it.
am really good with games that involve feet.
Not what I meant. You there, little winged lady. I'm sorry, but you didn't quite make it through the first round. You may relax in my office, in the waiting room if you wish. Me and your friends here are gonna play another hand.
And I will fly around. I'm going to look. I'm looking around while they're playing. I'm investigating the room.
Okay. Lumi heads off, and also so does this puppet here, heads back to try and have a conversation with Lumi. The rest of you are at this table with Allard and Digby.
It's time for a different game, my favorite. One that ups the stakes a little bit. Any of y'all ever heard of a little game out there called Lucky Roper's Run?
Have I?
Give me a history check.
I'd also like to check if I know what that game is.
You would not have heard of it.
Okay.
This is a game. Well, roll your dice, Marcus, and I'll.
Yeah, that's pretty low for me. That's an 18.
Jax, you can probably as well.
11.
11. None of you have heard of this game before. It does tinge slightly of something to you, Marcus, but you can't place your finger on it.
Well, Lucky Roper's Run gets a little more complicated than Goblin Jack. You see, it's not a game of cards, it's a game of dice. Dice I prefer to cards, a little more tactile. Don't you agree? I could tell they agreed. You start with 5 dice.
I fucking howled then when you said that. Was great. That was so good. I was muted, but I was like, nah! Great.
You start out with 5d6.
Who has 5d6?
I
So-
do.
So this is playing this game as Marcus, Arturius, and
You know that there's a dice tray on Owlbear as well that we could use.
so I'm going to use the owlbear one.
Okay.
You guys can as well if you wish.
Are you about to play Yahtzee?
No, kind of. I've never played Yahtzee. Maybe.
So, you roll the 5 dice, and you get a score. 1s are worth 100, 5s are worth 50. However, if you roll 2 of a kind, it's the face value times 100. If you roll 3 of a kind, it's the face value times 200. And if you roll 4 of a kind, it's the face value times 300. So, to give you an example, would that be 2 3s, 300 points, 2 4s, 400 points, 3 3s, 600 points, 4 3s, 900 points. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay,
I'm going to put this in Discord just so that you can keep track of it.
thank you.
Okay, I think I've got it.
Every round, you must bank at least 1 dice.
Yeah.
If you roll dice and you don't get anything you can bank, you bust. So
Bank
all
me for someone who doesn't speak English.
Okay.
So I'm going to put this in. So I'm going to roll. I'm going to play around. I'm going to do Digby's round so that you can see how it's done. But the rules are in Discord. So Digby picks up his cup with 5 dice, shakes it, and rolls them onto the table. Can you see those?
Yeah. Okay, so you got...
How do I see this?
On Albert.
Albert.
So
Alright.
Digby rolled a 5, a 3, a 3, a 2, and a 1. Now he could bank the 5 as 50 points. He could bank the 1 as 100 points, but he's going to bank the 2 3s because that gives him 300 points. That make sense?
Yeah. Could you
So
bank?
Digby's-
Could he bank more than that? Could he go for
He
450 if he wanted?
He could bank, yeah, he could go for 450 if he wanted, and then if he wanted to roll again, he could. But then if he didn't roll a 1 or a 5, he'd go bust.
Okay, with you.
So he's gonna bank the 2 3s, giving him 300 points, and then he's gonna roll the remaining 3.
Okay.
Okay. He's gonna bank one of the 1s, giving him 400.
Okay.
He's gonna roll 2. And he's going to bank the 5, so he's got 450 points. And then he's going to stand at 450. So he banked 2 3s, which gave him 300, and then he banked a 1, which gave him an extra 100, up to 100, up to 400. And then he banked a 5 to give him 450, and then he stands at 450.
Is there a limit on when you stand?
Whenever you want. So if you've only got if you've banked 3 dice and you've got 2 dice left, but you don't want to roll those 2 dice in case you don't get a double, a 1, or a 5, you can stop there. So if you get like a triple 6 on your first roll, that's going to be 900 points. So
Just stand, yeah.
you could probably just stand there and not risk. So, but it's up to you. It depends what you roll. Can you guys all use this dice tray as well on Albert? Because it's up to you whether you want to use the Albert one or your physical dice.
Okay. Who's going next?
So next up at the table, he looks over to you, Arturius, but you do not notice that he is. Time for your turn, sword fella. Let's see if your luck is as sharp as your blade.
Okay, do you mind if I roll real dice?
Roll real dice if you wish. Just don't lie to me.
It's me, man. I'm probably gonna
It's me, man. I will.
go 5 6s. No. So I got 2 4s, a 5, 3, and a 1.
Okay, you're going to bank those 2 4s for 400 points?
I certainly am. So those 2 4s are off.
Cool. Are you going to bank any of the 5s at once?
Oh, he got 450, didn't he? So if I bank the 1, I'm already above him.
Yeah.
And then I can just re-roll the other 2 on the off chance I get a double, right? Cool, I'll do that then. So I'll bank the
you're up
1,
to
so that's
500.
500, and I'll roll the other 2 again. For a 3 and a 3! So another 300!
300, taking you up to 800 points.
Yeah,
Very nice.
done.
Okay, so Arturius on 300. Impressive. You're a natural, old friend.
I don't know what we're doing.
Well, you could have fooled me, and it's not often that people do.
I
Marcus?
wouldn't know what that looks like either, to be fair. Like, this blind thing's a real fucking drag, man.
You said 5d6.
5d6.
Alright, here we go. Okay, so there's 2 3s,
2 3s, so that's 300 points if you want to bank it.
1 4, 1 2, 1 5. So I'll bank the 2 3s.
So that's up to 300. You can bank the 5 as well to take you up to 350, or you can roll it again.
I'll roll it again. How many times can I roll it?
So you take the dice that you bank, you take out of your hand.
Yeah.
So you should
So
have
now
3
I have
dice in
3
your hand.
dice in my hand.
Correct.
Okay, cool. That's a 5, a 6, and a 3.
So the only thing you can bank there is the 5. So you have to
Okay.
take the 5 if you want to keep
So
going.
I bank the 5.
So you're up to 350.
Or the 3. Because he got 2 3s in the first round, so he could.
Yeah, but no, it's every round is
Oh,
unique to
okay.
itself. Yeah, you can't add dice from one roll to another roll.
Fair.
So you're on 350 with 2 dice left.
And that's 2 4s.
2 4s giving you 400, getting you up to
750.
750. Very nice.
And now I take away all those and I'm done, right?
If you've used all your dice, you banked all your dice,
Yeah.
that's the end of your hand. Up to 750, right?
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
I'm starting to like you guys. Let's see if you can bring it home, Curly.
Josh just
I'm
kinda
using that.
smirks and
I'm
just picks it up.
using that. Marcus
just-
writes down in his notes.
Okay, alright. 5 5s. I don't know why I said 5 5s. Okay, so I literally got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No. Well, the one.
You can bank the 1
1
though,
and a 5.
That's the one.
And the 5.
if you
the
wanted
50.
to.
Well, you could use them. You could.
I'll bank the 1. I'm gonna re-roll 4.
Okay.
Okay. 2 5s.
2 5s, so that's 500.
600 total.
2 dice
okay.
left.
A 6 and a 1, so I can bank the 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Taking me up to
700.
700.
100, and then I just kind of hope this is a 1 or a 5, really, right?
Or a 5.
Or you can just
stand.
stick. If you don't roll a 1 or a 5, you bust.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to bank some at every turn. If you roll that and don't get a
shit,
1 or a 5,
really?
you bust. Yeah.
Oh, I was so fucking lucky then.
You really were.
Oh.
Do you want to roll your last 2 dice?
This is a game of chance, you said, right? Game of fate. Let's go. It's a 1!
Hey.
Get in.
So that's wait, 100 plus
100, 500, 200, 100. I got. So you're at 800 total.
just a quick question though, because you said that 5s were worth 50 regardless of.
Unless you get multiples. So if you get.
It says regardless of rolling multiple there. So.
It's the 1s and the 5s are basically there so that if you do roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you don't roll any doubles. You've still got something to bank. But then when you have less dice, you need a 1 or a 5. So if you get like a 4 or a 3, you bust.
Alrighty, that's me.
Okay.
Very impressive. What about you, Allard? You in for a hand?
You know
I always am.
Do I get anything on my divine sense?
Divine Sense gives you Fae, Celestial, Fiend, and Undead, right?
Correct.
No.
No, that's fine. Well, it's probably being sound out by the metal swinging of Gil in his cage. Just
We'll come back to that, guys, in a minute. So Allard now steps forward to take his go. Okay. He's going to bank the 100. And then he's going to roll 4 dice. Oh, damn it. He's going to bank the 100 again. He's going to go for 3 dice. You see him shaking. Come on, lucky Lucia. Come on, look after me again. Come on. Oh, Lucinda, sorry. Come on, lucky Lucinda. Be with me. Rolls the dice. 2 5s. Taking him up to 700.
You gonna roll the final dice?
And he looks up. He looks over to Jack. He says,
Well, you said it was a game of chance, huh? I can't not. God damn it!
he rolls a 3.
I'm sorry, Digby. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Never mind. You did what you had to do. The rest of you, I'm mighty impressed. Mighty impressed indeed. Sure. Why don't we let your friend out?
Artemis, is there anything you've been up to while you've been in this cell over there?
So, having suddenly been transported to the cell and like looking at the door, I'm assuming it's just your standard cell. It's got a lock. It's not like it's just a cage without any kind of way out or anything like that.
Make me an investigation check.
Okay. 13.
13. You look around the cell. It appears to be very, very sturdy in make. There doesn't appear to be a handle or such. There's no like padlock on it or anything like that. It's just flush and shut.
Okay.
There's no keyhole or anything like that. No.
Looking. So while everyone is playing their game, he's going to do a scan of the room, sort of looking to the chest, but genuinely he's more interested when the lady puppet starts walking away. He is very intently watching them move and trying to just get a gauge of what the hell these things are, because this is just puppetry right now and it's freaky.
Okay. Give me a perception check, please.
Perception check. Perception is unlucky 13 again.
13. So you just begin scouting the room. You see a lot of what I described before on the tables and workbenches and this sort of little kind of study in the back here. You're not able to make out much that's on the tables apart from here where there's lots of tools. There's a couple of sort of half-built puppet / automatons on these benches here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't really see much else.
Okay, so the half-built automatons have puppet-like felt already sort of half pulled across themselves?
Yeah. So you see, like, so on one of them, the top half is mostly puppet, and the bottom half is artifice.
That's Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay,
True.
Yeah, kind of just watching the sort of the sudden realization that these are animatronic, or at least sort of similar kind of mechanical beings to what we've seen before, but in an actual humanoid shape. He's gonna look toward. As Lumiel flies away from the table and sort of starts wandering around, he's just gonna be like, "Hey, psst, Jailbird needs a hi." That's
To me.
you, Lumiel. Yes, Lumiel. That's you.
So Lumiel is a bit. Are you trying like subtly do it because she is really engrossed
he's
in this
saying,
puppet?
"Hey, Lumiel, come talk to me."
Yeah, hold on a second.
He doesn't-
So she's talking to this puppet.
Okay, so we'll go back to that. As you ran away and began to sort of look around some things, not really rustling through anything just yet, you don't get a chance to, before this individual approaches you, who you remember now from the novel to be Meryl Jenkins. Can I get another history check from you, please?
Indeed. Okay, that's 18 plus history plus 3, so 21.
21, very good. The memory of the Ballad of Lucinda Lucky begins to come back to you. It's been a couple of years since you read it. It was one of his earlier books, at least in the Digby Dungeon series. You remember that Allard, the other individual, the male individual, was missing, and that Meryl Jenkins came to Digby Dungeon to try and find him. However, towards the end of the book, it is revealed as the investigation leads towards a strange trickster and murderer by the name of Lucinda Lucky. It is revealed that Lucinda Lucky and Meryl Jenkins are the very same, and that Meryl Jenkins had captured Allard to try and entice Digby Dungeon to her lair because Meryl was in love with Digby Dungeon. They were once school sweethearts, but she had married into a family that she did not love, and so took up the identity of Lucinda Lucky to create an elaborate mystery to entice Digby Dungeon back to her. and towards the end, it is revealed that Meryl is Lucinda. So you know that there's something not quite right, and there's potentially some danger to this person.
Well, it's just so nice to be having company. We don't get company down in the offices much nowadays. What are you looking around for in there?
Oh, well, I don't get out very much, so I like to look around where I am. I actually do know you. You found your husband then.
Whatever do you mean?
Well, I don't know if you really know this, but someone wrote a book about you.
A little book about little me.
Well,
I hope
it's
they
really-
said some nice things.
It was very unfortunate that you lost your husband, and Digby helped you find him.
There's a narrowing of the eyes to this Muppet.
I don't really remember the end of the book though, so I don't really remember if you found him or not. But obviously you did.
I'm afraid I don't quite know what you're talking about, honey. And let's maybe stop ourselves before we start spreading any harsh rumors.
She leans towards you, and as she does, it's strange. There's almost an illusory shift between these two this individual as she leans forward. She briefly turns into a very different looking creature.
Zoom in, hold on. Oh dear lord.
Just for a short moment. Before,
Chucky!
before turning back into her form.
Now, I don't like anyone messing around with my Digby dungeon. Your friend over there already made a misstep. But if any of y'all raise another weapon to my beloved Digby, we're gonna have problems.
I would never. I'm a big fan. Like, the biggest fan. I actually once wrote him a letter.
Too, honey. Isn't he just wonderful? He's the smartest detective in all of the city.
Indeed. And you can see that Lumia's a bit freaked out now. She's just like, sure.
At this
The
point,
way
you
he
hear Gil sort of knocking on his bars as the card game continues in earnest on the other side.
I have
Little
to-
cup across the
I
board.
have to go as I back quickly off to.
You take good care of yourself, honey, and your friends.
Something's not right. Something's really wrong. And she's lowered her voice, like something's really fucking wrong.
Oh, are you talking to me now? Are you done with your toys, Lumi?
It's getting information.
Oh, sure you were.
Alright, I won't tell you the information then. You can just stay there.
Lumi, you've trusted these things since we got in here for no good reason, otherwise
No,
they
no,
turn
no,
up
no,
in the
no.
book.
I don't trust her.
Then
That
why'd
one.
you play?
That one.
What?
She's not right.
Lumi, can you make me a
Right.
perception check, please?
Oh
Did
god.
not.
Oh god. Right behind you.
Oh, okay. That's
Oh no,
not-
she isn't.
Get used to that, Dan.
Perception, that's 12.
12. Okay. Carry on.
You know when you're playing Baldur's Gate, is this perception check failed? You're just like,
Yeah.
F8.
yeah, not right. Have you figured a way out?
Sorry, am I the lockpicker in the group? Should I be finding my own way out of this cage? Like, this is
Right.
your area of expertise, right? Like, this is what you do.
Fine, just hold
Oh,
the
sorry, am I
sarcasm.
putting you out? Sorry, is this too much for you?
Shh.
Okay.
And I'm going to look for a lock.
Okay, give me an investigation check, please.
Okay, I've actually got that's +6, so that's a 9.
9.
Rolled a 3.
It's very strange. This cage does not appear to. There is quite a heavy hinge on one side of the front face, but there's no handles. There's no keyholes, anything like that.
Pull it to see if
Pull
it
it.
just opens without a.
Solid. Doesn't even rattle.
I mean, there's no lock to pick, so you're screwed.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start burning things down soon, so maybe we should try and pick this up a bit.
Maybe they can beat the game and he'll release you.
Thanks, Lumi.
As these two go back to Gil sitting, sulking in his cage, and Lumi just exploring, keeping a little bit of distance from Merrill at this point, the game comes to an end, and Detective Digby Dungeon makes his proclamation. Sure, why don't we let your little friend free? And then I've got a few more answers for you. He waves, he takes out his notebook, he scratches out the name, and the door of your cell opens. Gil. Now why don't you guys take a little look around, make yourselves at home, relax.
We'd rather not. We've been here long enough. You have answers? Start talking. We've played your games. I don't have time for any more games. Any pageantry, any theatrics. Just tell us what you know. My patience is wearing thin.
Well, an easier question, my friend, would be, what don't I know? I'm Detective Digby Dungeon.
You've fucking
greatest
said
detective in
this
the-
3 times. I
Well,
don't
then why
know
don't
the-
you start asking some questions?
Oh my goodness me.
Where is...
As he was getting angry, I'm gonna send Jax a message.
Okay.
Telepathically. I remembered about the book. The female puppet, bad guy, very bad guy, and freaky. Everything is not right.
Okay.
So,
Where
so
is-
female puppet is very bad guy, angry, and freaky.
Not right. Okay.
Where is Waldron Barbizon?
Yes. That's my question.
And who might that be?
You don't know where
Okay.
you are, do you?
I'm Detective Digby Dungeon. I'm the best detective in the whole city.
It's something not off of a script or a book page.
They asked me some questions that I didn't understand the answer to. Who are these people? Were they from the city? Were they even from this world?
I'm
City are you talking about, Digby?
Megan?
Which city are you talking about, Digby?
The city of New Crobazon.
Oh, my hand reaches up and just kind of grabs the...
This fair city that we're in right now.
Yeah, I grab the sword and I just kind of like turn my head towards Jax and Marcus and go, well?
At the moment you lay a finger on your sword, you feel a jagged blade to your neck and a small weight and hand grapple onto your shoulder. The rest of you see as this person disappears from view and seems to blink to the other side of the room. This raggedy, evil, twisted-looking puppet is already atop Arturius' shoulders with a blade to his neck.
Now I wouldn't try that if I were you, honey. You lay a finger on my beloved's head, you're gonna have some problems. Don't try your luck with Lucinda Lucky, sweetheart. Might just be the last roll of the dice you ever make.
Right,
Digby says-
how about we
Oh.
calm down a little bit?
Listen to your friend here, buddy. Nobody's trying to get in any trouble around here. We've been through the games. We've played our hands. If you have questions, then I can see about having some answers.
Cool, I have a question, Digby. Are you aware that you are a fictional character written by somebody called Waldron Barbizon, who lives in Valvaris?
Tales of my exploits have been written across the city.
No, he created you. not written about you. He wrote you.
Did you not question why we don't look like you?
Can I get a persuasion check from you, Marcus?
Fucking hell. Okay, cool. 18 on the die, whatever that is in persuasion. Dirty 20.
30-20.
And what is this to you, my friend? Some kind of dream?
No, we stepped through a series of portals underneath Barberson Manor, the house where your author and creator lives. And
Creator,
we
author.
found
Are you talking about the
ourselves-
commissioner?
What's his name?
What does he look like?
Well, he's the commissioner. He's, kind of old, a little short, a little on the short side, but he's a fox in his cunning. Smart as anything.
Sounds about right.
Have you seen the commissioner recently?
Well, the commissioner was down here just 2 days ago.
Right, now we're getting somewhere. Did he tell you anything about where he was going or what he was doing here?
These cats were starting to make a little more sense than at first, and it got me wondering, what has the commissioner got himself into?
Commissioner's in trouble, Digby.
Then we better
Serious
save
trouble.
him.
Yes, that's what we are here to do.
Yeah, there's no
hush. I hush Artorius. I put my finger on his mouth because his big ass mouth has gotten us into trouble before.
At this point, the knife gets peeled away from your throat, Arturus, and the individual disappears, and the other one reappears across the other room, just sort of fuddy-duddying around, cleaning up, dusting the various workbenches and things like that.
Well, I can't tell you where the commissioner has gone because rightly I don't know. He came in here a couple of days ago, seemed a little in a fuss, was stripping around his desk over there, pulling out all sorts of papers. I know the side of a man who's on to the solution to a mystery, and he had something figured out. Before he left, he wrote a letter, placed it in his desk, and then opened his storage chest you see there in the middle of the room. What he put in it, what he took out, I can't say, but we've won a couple of hands now. I feel like we can trust each other. I know the combination to that safe.
Sure he does.
Would you mind opening the safe so that we can have a look to see if there's anything of importance that he might have left behind to lead us to where he is?
Detective Digby Dungeon is a legendary PI. You know what PI means? Private investigator.
Yes, I'm the same.
Well, then you'll know that our services don't come for free. Cross
I'll
my palm
play
with a
you
little
for it.
gold. And... Oh, I like that. What's your game? One last round. Will it be Goblin Jack or Lucky Roper's Run?
Take your pick.
Another game of Lucky Roper's Run for the combination. How's that sound? Man on man, one on one, stripped to the waist.
Right, and I start stripping. No.
Yeah.
So does he takes off. You see a very flat felt little chest. You stand at opposite ends of the card table.
And who's going to go first, friend? You or me?
Oh no, that's Artorius.
Well, greatest detective, go first.
So you then,
Yeah.
Marcus, yeah?
Okay,
I'm
he's gonna roll.
playing.
He's gonna roll his first 5d6.
As I feel that he's being reasonably distracted, I'm going to
Yeah.
get up from the table, hearing him mention the desk, walk over to it
Yeah,
and
come on.
start going through the desk.
Okay, cool. So he's going to bank those 2 3s. He's going to bank the 1. And then he's going to. And he looks over at you with his last 2 dice in his hand. Throws them out onto the table. He banks the 1.
500.
Picks up the last remaining dice. You know, I liked your friend there, Style. Rolls it out. Gets himself a
550.
550 points. So.
Fuck, I'm sweating.
You got this. You got this. You got this. Come on.
I'm sweating.
At this point, I will. If anyone wants to try and do anything to influence this game, you are able to. You're all there. Or if you want to just let the dice roll.
I was talking, but I realised I was muted.
Ah.
So as this dice game is going on, do I remember, DM, how in the books Lucinda Luck was beaten?
Give me a history check.
Should I roll or should I wait?
History, 3, so 19.
19, you do. You remember the end of the book at this point. It's all come back to you. At the end, when Lucinda Lucky is discovered at an old tanning plant where she was holding her husband, she drew in Digby, admitted her love for him, and then they fought. She was knocked from a high walkway, and as she plummeted towards a tub of tanning acid, we're going to say that's a thing, Digby reached out, clasped her hand, forgave her, but she did not forgive herself, and she cut his arm, releasing her, and fell into the tub of acid.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's get your rolls, please, Marcus.
Okay.
There's nothing I can do without being obvious to help.
Okay. Oh, fuck me. 2 6s and 2 4s. I'm not joking. I can take
Straight
a
up.
picture.
It's 1,000 on the first roll.
So
Okay.
I'll bank those.
Okay, well, at that point, Digby just... Huh?
Stand! Don't roll again!
I mean, at this point,
True. Yeah.
you've got him beat. He's just sort of looks over and goes, well, goddamn.
I kind of want to roll the last one just for fun.
Lady Luck. I think Lady Luck must have sent this one to me herself. Personal orders, Digby Dungeon. All right. Fair game. Fair is fair. And I'm nothing if not a fair man. The combination is 34.
Just 3 4.
34.
I feel like if we'd have gone up the number scale from 1, we'd have got there pretty quickly.
Well, any other questions y'all got? I'm happy to answer them.
I have so many questions, but I
Yeah.
don't know how relevant they are.
I can only tell you what I know.
Okay, do you know why... Sorry, how involved with you are you in this manufacturing process that seems to be going on around here?
I don't know what
Gesturing.
you mean.
Okay, so what do you see on top of these tables? What, gesturing to the automatons?
Well, over there you've got the morgue. That's where we investigate the cadavers. Right over there is my desk with my typewriter.
And he points at one of the other tables, which also has a half-made puppet on it. You get the impression that this person has a very different perception of the world around him than you.
Okay, well... I Yes, that answers a question.
Well, I'm glad I could help. And if ever you want another game, come by the office of Detective Digby Dungeon.
So I kind of walk towards the desk. I kind of just kind of notion over to Gilly and Lumi and just go. They mentioned something about a note or something in the desk. I think we should really fan out and search this place for any sort of clues.
Okay. As long as the puppet show doesn't care too much about what we do.
Well,
sure.
if they care, then there's more of us than them.
Yeah, we can just burn them up. Burn them all.
I would like to. So, I'm not going to be the guy to look for letters in a desk. So I'm hoping that Gil or Lumi can take that. I am, however.
If you said I would have started, yeah.
I want to be looking around the tables where the automatons are, and I want to be looking to see if there's any weaponry mechanisms that look a little bit funky to me, like not something that I would typically come across. And as I'm not going to pick any of them up and pocket them. I'm going to move them. They're all on in one area. So, oh, cool, there's a dagger. Kind of look at it, put it down. Oh, well, what is this mechanism? Put that down.
Sure.
If I can do that.
Yeah, give me an investigation check, please.
Cool.
I will be checking out the desk for any letter.
Okay.
I'm heading to the chest.
Investigation, you're heading to the chest. Investigation from all three of you, please.
18 from medium.
18. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll start with you. You do sort of see there's quite little in the way of weaponry here. It doesn't appear to be that these robots are being made for any combat means, except for maybe the one that was briefly at your neck. It's all fairly common artifice that you would see for I say common artifice. Automatons aren't a particularly common thing, but there's nothing here which is like, whoa, this is from another planet kind of thing.
No. I'm specifically looking for things like power cores. I want to. So I'm essentially, just to kind of put you where my mind is at, I'm looking to pile up everything that I think Ban would make a lot of use out of, and that could benefit us when we get back. Essentially.
Yeah. So as I say, the components here, you don't see anything like any magical cores or orbs or anything like that. It's all very basic artifice. There's a couple of there's like a leg which has sort of been half made. There's some potentially quite useful cogs and machinery, stuff like that, but nothing that would probably set you back more than a couple of 100 gold in any kind of artificer's market or something like that.
Right.
It's basic cogs, pulleys, pistons, that kind of thing.
Nothing of real value on note that I can see.
Not in any of the unfinished ones, no. I'd say from that investigation check, you're pretty much like, well, whatever materials he had to complete one of these things, he probably used on the ones that are completed.
Okay. So that's what I'm looking at as well.
These look a lot like spare parts, basically.
Yeah. Sweet. So it's not like he's in the process of building a fucking army of these things, essentially.
No. There's only 2 incomplete automatons here.
Okay.
One of them partially dressed as a puppet. One of them bottom half missing and one arm missing. No, there's like a switch on them. You switch it doesn't turn on or anything like that. These are incomplete. There's probably some stuff here. If you just want to add something to your inventory for this, it'd just be common artifice components.
Right.
About 10 kilos worth, or maybe 200 golds worth.
Enough to create. Enough to create a thing for us, a little helper dude.
Do you know how to make?
I don't fucking know, like Ban, mate.
Then you should probably ask someone who does.
Yeah.
But you gather these things up. No weapons, unfortunately. Though.
That's fine. No problem.
But
at least I know.
You've got about 200 golds worth of common artifice components.
Sweet. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
23.
23 on the desk. Okay. You begin to look over this desk. There is a lot here.
Um,
Gil, were you also looking over the desks?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the same general realm is
Cool. So let me get your investigation check as well, please.
I already rolled one, so 19.
19, of course you did.
That's what I was doing as well.
Okay, so you both begin to sort of pan through all of this stuff that's on the desk, and there is a lot. On this desk to the left, you find many ancient, seemingly ancient scrolls. The languages you don't understand. You see there are some illustrations on there. Can I have a nature check from you, Gil?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 20.
Yes.
And very thematic, because you are probably one of the only people in this party who would be familiar with such entities, given that you deal with interplanar incursions. You see depictions of beholders.
Oh.
You see depictions of aboleths. You see depictions of various creatures. You see illithid inscriptions and depictions.
Oh no. Okay.
You put these together in your mind, and the commonality of all of these things is these all appear to be entities from a world beyond.
With everyone close by and having a look at these things, he's just gonna sort of turn to them not too loudly but quietly, and just sort of like, I mean, I can't read most of this stuff, but we got holders, illithids, other such things. There's a lot of things here about interplanar incursion, or I don't know, things coming through, but this is concerning greatly. I've not seen stuff like this for a long time.
With your natural 20 as well, you know that the astral sea. You know these to be, in your line of work, referred to as entities from beyond the astral sea. Because these are known entities. The people know about beholders, people know about aboleths, but the commonality between these things is they're all said to have come from a world beyond the astral sea.
Somewhere.
The text is completely illegible. Lumiel, you're 23. You begin to go over the desk. You find history books and scrolls from ancient Valvaris and the civilizations that existed before Valvaris. You sweep them aside, putting aside any ones that you find interesting, and you notice that the desk, it's kind of one of those writing desks where the desk itself lifts up to reveal a drawer. And in inspecting the lining of this, you do notice that this is trapped.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if I noticed it was trapped before I set it off.
Yes. From your high investigation, you notice the trap before you lift the desk lid.
Looking at it, do I recognize how it's trapped?
It's a fairly, it's a magical trap, but a fairly common one, especially in your line of work. You'd say you could probably figure out how to uninstall it. There appears to be some kind of magical link between the bottom and top hemispheres, which, if interrupted, before opening, could potentially stop that line from breaking. So you could slip something over the sensor to kind of stop it from going off.
I'm gonna pull out my dagger and try and place it and then lift the thing so it doesn't interrupt it.
Okay.
So it interrupts it, sorry.
Cool. Sleight of hand check for me, please.
15 plus 9.
24.
15 plus 9. Thank
24.
you.
24. Easily done.
Math.
You open the desk, and inside there is a single solitary envelope. A waxy paper envelope that sits alone, deliberately placed in the center of this drawer. On its face is written R. Jamal.
Does that mean anything to me?
Decide that for yourself. As you turn it over, however, a large wax seal is embossed with an intricate circular symbol. In the center, beneath a large letter N, lays a horizontal hourglass, the sand swirling clockwise in the left chamber and anti-clockwise in the right chamber. In the space above it, a rising moon. In the space below, a symbol of the sun. And bordering the image, what looks like a looped strip of flowing fabric tied in a knot at the bottom.
And does that trigger anything in my mind? Like, is that a sort of a symbol or a logo or a monogram of someone or something that I've seen before?
That sounds like something you should figure out yourself without a roll. And
The DM
So-
stopped playing.
no.
I know, right?
It's another part. It's just you figure it out. But yeah, so there's this letter in this desk.
I take the letter, close the drawer, and remove my knife.
I've written to you how it's spelt on Discord.
Right, give me a second, guys.
Jax, what did you
Yes.
roll in your investigation?
Oh, I rolled 12 plus 13 total.
13. Okay. You look over the chest, and it's very intricately built, ornate, seemingly of ancient design, not of any contemporary artistic design from Valvaris. And you see upon its face a 3-layered safe lock, turny, spinny wheel thing. Dial. There we go. And if you would direct your attention to the upper left area of this, you will see this. This is what you see. In case anyone's, I'm talking about this here. You guys see that?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I just want to give you guys a heads up to do this before. If you click on each layer and then click on the thing at the top, you should, oh no, I'm on the bloody fog layer still. You click on it and then you can turn it. You see that? Yeah, there you go. So that's what you guys see. Lumi.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I am staring at this letter.
Okay.
Nothing actually comes straight to mind, so I'm going to take it to Arthur.
Okay.
Artorius, sorry. And this is. Can you see? You can't see this, but this is a letter, and I describe what you described on the seal.
Hmm?
It's a marked R. Jamal. Do you know an R. Jamal?
No. Am I supposed? I don't know. Like, am I supposed to know or not? I don't know. Like, is it not in one of his novels, or like? I mean, you're the expert here, mate, not me.
Not that comes to mind, correct, DM?
Make me an intelligence check.
Thank you, because this intelligence isn't getting it. Okay.
DM, sorry, Dan. DM. I'm the DM. Dan, if you
Yes.
want to go back to the battle screen and just focus on the dial in the top corner.
Yeah, sweet.
I think I fixed it.
Let's see.
Oh,
Oh.
fuck.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Okay, so the letter with just R. Jamal on it, is that it?
That's who it's addressed to. I haven't opened it yet. Should I open it?
Yeah. Why would you, like, yes, absolutely open it. I thought,
Okay. And I'm trying not to break the seal in case that is in somewhat important.
from
Okay.
experience, that's a fucker when you do that.
She's going to take her dagger and sort of like break it without breaking the seal, and read the contents of the letter.
Okay. If you look over on Discord,
Yep.
you will find what's in the letter. If you'd like to read that out to us, it's in the references channel.
It says, BB has located the font. The clock is ticking. It must be kept from the. Then there's a symbol. It's a bit like a trident.
Wait, we've seen that symbol before.
Have we?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the psi symbol from the inside of the cores. I'm here too. It was inside the machines.
I'm listening. I'm just doing something.
So it must be kept from the psi. The cult of the obelisk must not obtain the threads of fate. Oh well, this is wordy. Sorry.
Go text her.
Anyone can read this if you're not feeling confident
Yeah,
with it.
Okay. Their scarabs in the psi know what they gather to foil, nor do they know not what they gather to foil, nor do those who pull their strings. They must be stopped before the jealousy undo us all. It is too late to reason with bureaucrats and paranoid warmongers. We are too close, and there is more at stake than our great city-state. I am sorry. This step forward must be my last. I have tread too boldly into the shadows of this city in my search. I have been careless and drawn too many gazes. Most recently, of one whose paranoia is so insidious that it taints their judgment and is exceeded only by their power to pursue it. I go now to another place to protect the knowledge you must now reconvene and complete. I pray to Mistra and give my will to Ao, in hope we succeed before it's too late. The rites of Nethil must be completed, and you must find the missing parts of the equation for all your sakes. If anyone else jump in at any point, guys, I'm fucking this up. If the right eyes read these words, warn the regent of these words, and beseech him. Whisper to the pale night. Night spelt N-I-G-H-T.
At this point, as these words echo in the chamber, Jax, click in the chest as you complete the dial, arranging all sides of the dial to equal 34.
I got given a puzzle. I got distracted.
I should not have revealed that while there was other things happening. I should have known Anne would have just done it. But no, you've done that very well. Congratulations. And the chest draws open.
What was the answer to the puzzle? You've just gone, and while that was happening, Hans solved the puzzle. Like, what did you do?
They all have to sum to 34. Like all of
12,
the...
18.
Oh, so if you move it a certain way, all lines will add to 34.
Every line adds up to 34.
Right. Thank you.
34. Well done, Han.
Well done, Han.
But as the chest clicks open, that is where we're going to take a brief break to mull over this strange letter that you've received. Who is our Jamal? And what is within the chest?
Oh, Jamal!
We'll be back very, very shortly. Thank you for joining us so far. We'll be back with part 2 in a few minutes. Stick around.
See you soon.
Goodbye!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tales on Tap, where we're about to continue on in earnest with the second part of this week's episode of Aerilon Sins of the Peacekeeper. And there may have been some revelations in the break. So I will let you guys decide who pipes up first.
Well, I jokingly, because of how Han solved the last quiz, like the last puzzle, as like we were talking about the letter in the break, I went, well, who cares? Han's probably already fixed it and solved it as a joke. And then just before we came back, somebody went, is it an anagram? And Han just went, it means bam, 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 bam. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, so as this chest clicks open, and Lumi and Arturis are discussing this letter on the other side of the room.
Yeah. So turning the letter over because Lumiere knows that she's not going to figure out anything that's actually in the letter. Looking at the name. I mean, the name doesn't mean anything to me, but it could be an anagram. Does anyone know?
What was it again?
Jamal?
Jamal. J-A... Sorry.
M-A-L?
Jax, Artemis, Marcus, Arthurius, Lumiel.
Oh,
We're all here,
the
so what's
Arkaby
going on?
and the Arkaby region. So this letter's just for us. How do they know our name? And we're not calling ourselves Jamal, just putting that out there. That's not our name.
What about Lamaj? Has a sort of...
That's worse.
But it's for us. Okay.
Jax.
Okay.
You know what? Jax, you're smarter than you look.
What? Thanks.
Wow.
You sort of flick away from looking at the contents of the chest to respond to this. But then as you look back, you see within the chest, it's quite sparse. In fact, just only a few inches below where the lid lifts up, it's just cushioned interior, almost like a coffin. And there are 4 things within the chest. The first thing you see is a trilby hat. And in the ribbon of the trilby hat is a little piece of card. And on it is the drama masks with the happy, sad, and angry. Is just a depiction of that. Also, within the chest is a large stone nose, approximately the size of a fist. There is also a magnifying glass and a small amulet. The amulet depicts, on a gold chain, 2 golden hands cradling a glass heart.
Sick. I know what 2 of those items are.
Are they puppet hands?
No.
I like it even more! Okay.
Is that a nose?
Yeah. Looking at this then, if you're saying that it's quite, meticulously laid out, does it look like there's anywhere where there's staining where an object used to be, or a particularly clear gap where something's been removed?
Make an investigation check for me. Meanwhile, is anyone else doing anything?
Lumiel, once hearing that the chest is open and she's gonna come over. I can identify things if you need me to.
Big nose, hat, magnifying glass, amulet. I've done that.
Yeah,
Yeah, names, you know.
they might do things, and okay, Jax. You see, I said you're smarter than you look, but
I am good at puzzles.
Sure.
I think Lumi's basically saying they might hold additional properties that you might not be able to see with your eyes.
Fine.
Okay. I think we have a group huddle not here.
That
Oh,
was
yes,
17 on the
100%.
17 on total, sorry.
Okay, you look over the rest of the area within this chest. You see no further compressions within the fabric and the cushions to indicate that anything has been removed. You sort of go along the edge of the chest, and you find that actually you can lift out. And you do so. And within the chest, at the bottom, which is now the full depth of the chest, is a smattering of coins at the bottom, and you begin to sort of rifle through the coins to see how deep it goes, And at the very bottom of the chest, you find a door knocker. At the bottom of the chest. Like a ring on a thing, but it's at the bottom of the chest, so it's just sort of resting on the bottom.
Like attached to the bottom.
Attached to the bottom base of the chest is a door knocker.
Mr. Bigsby Dungeon,
Detective Big Digby Dungeon's the name.
you nearly got it wrong as well then. I see I nearly caught you with my joke.
Oh, you confused me.
We can't leave here the way we came in, but the commissioner must have had a way in and out of this room, you know, in case intruders stormed into the office, right?
The commissioner comes and goes as he pleases.
Let's say that this place was being infiltrated by an enemy force, and you needed to make a quick getaway. How would you do it?
Well, I'd saddle up on old Lassie and make a break for downtown. Easy to hide.
Wonderful.
Maybe by the canals.
How do I get there?
You take a left on Baker Street. You keep going down until you see the Old Moat Pub.
No, the Old Moat Pub's the other way. If you take a left on Baker Street, that's where the Old Moat Pub is.
There's no one in this city more familiar with the back alleys and streets soaked in blood and detritus.
Let's wind this back a bit. Where's the door to leave?
Right the way you came in.
Okay, is there
Points at the
any
front.
other exit?
Well, you can go down the fire escape if you want.
Okay.
You got someone looking for you?
No, we need
Perhaps you're
to...
being pursued by a murderous villain that needs investigating and unmasking.
Actually, have you ever heard of the name BB before? Or the...
Let's say we are.
Then I'd take the fire escape if I were you, just that way.
And he points over his shoulder with his thumb towards the chest.
Digby.
Detective Digby Dungeon's the name.
Is Dungeon your last name?
Yes.
Dungeon is like a familial title, like you're just the Dungeons.
Detective Digby Dungeon's the name.
This is fun. Just out of curiosity, you've not seen a shady-looking fella in a hat and a long coat carrying a firearm by any chance, have you? I was really trying to get in here.
Ah, I know just who you're talking about. He's over in that cell over there.
I look towards the cell.
Okay. Maybe a perception check?
Fucking hell, he beats here.
He indicates
Haven't noticed him until now.
He indicates the cell right next to where Artemis was. Right next to
Natural
where Gil
20?
was. Natural 20.
But I know
Or
what it is, then.
24? 23, sorry.
You look and there is no one in the cell. However,
Didn't look left either.
as your eyes focus and you maintain your vision on a certain part of the bars, you see there is a very slight occasional ripple that kind of throngs.
I instinctively go, take a dagger and chuck it.
Okay, the dagger stops in midair in the cell. And then slowly from the dagger, in a hexagonal pattern, materializes a metal arm leading up to a leather coat, and the figure who shot the crystal in the portal room materializes within the cage.
I guess you're not that good at cards then.
I think I took a wrong turn back there somewhere. Are you gonna let me up?
Doubtful.
Just a guy with a job.
What's this guy's name?
Are you part of this show? Like the rest of these things?
I don't know what those things are. I don't know where this place is. They call me Lad.
Lad?
Good lad.
Good lad. highly doubtful, but okay. Go on.
So you're not a bad lad then.
And where did you get your weapon, good lad?
From the boss.
Can I be picking up the coins?
Are you
Starting
guys?
Can I start pocketing all the coins at the bottom of the chest?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just kind of like
Is that
just a handful into the pocket.
Oh, just a hand. You're just taking a handful, yeah.
Oh no, multiple.
You're
I'm taking
excavating all of the gold. Okay.
But as
So
I'm kind of as a coin drops, I'll just stop, wait for the conversation to carry on, and then just keep putting like as many of these coins in my pocket.
Okay, you get 168 gold.
168 gold. Yeah.
Yeah. 220 silver.
Right, I'm making a note of this because I intend on splitting this. 168.
168 gold. 220 silver.
Yeah.
And 83 copper.
Cool.
And also, while this interrogation's going on, can I be casting Identify upon the items in the chest?
Absolutely. I'm going to go through those right now for you. Two of them, quite easy. The trilby is the hat of disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the amulet is a periaptive wound closure.
Correct. Yep.
I think my camera's being a dick. Hang on. It's on charge.
There you go.
Right. It's fine. It's fine. It's just being a dick, don't worry. And the stone nose is not magical.
Okay.
It's a stone giant's nose. Is that
And
what it is?
The magnifying glass, however, is magical.
Okay.
And I'm going to send you what it does on Discord for you to then read, get excited about, and reveal to everyone else.
So as she's doing this, she's sitting cross-legged, and you do see this sort of glittery smoke appear around the items, and you can see she's concentrating, and different parts of the smoke glow, and you can see that she is taking meaning from this glittery smoke, and that is what is happening if you look upon her.
Okay, and I've sent you the final magical item, which is the magnifying glass. Sorry about my cam, by the way, everyone. I'm using a new charge cable for my camera, and it doesn't appear to do any better than it does every week, so I apologise for that.
So the name of this is the magnifying glass of See Things Closer. Original.
Oh no, wait! I've sent it to everyone, not just to you, Natalie, but whatever. Okay, so this conversation with this metal entity continues.
Okay.
So, lad, you said your boss gave you the gun?
Yeah, the boss gave it to me.
And who's your boss?
It's the boss.
Do they have a
I
name?
get that.
The boss.
Okay. And what were your orders exactly?
You see this individual is sat very casually in this cage. He's kind of slumped back, kind of slightly reclined, one knee bent up, and with his elbow rested on the knee. His hand is just holding the dagger in midair where it was thrown towards him.
I'd like him to make me a charisma saving throw, please.
That's going to be a 17.
It beats it. Doesn't matter. Worth a try. I was casting Zone of Truth. Worth a try.
What was the last question you asked? Sorry again.
Who is the boss?
Oh, what was the orders?
Yeah, what were your orders?
The orders were to come here, find out what the resident was up to, infiltrate the lab below, retrieve any items of significance, get out.
Is your boss part of any sort of organization?
What do you mean?
Is your boss a member or a leader of a gang?
He's the boss. I don't know.
What?
He's not the boss of everything, is he?
He's the boss of everything that I know about.
Right, can I make an insight check? Is this dude somewhat thick, or is he trying to withhold information intentionally? Like, does it?
I'll check. trying a different charge cable because this one
Is that a true intelligence check? Can I make an intelligence check?
Yeah. Can I discern intelligence, please?
I mean, he's a robot, so you never know. Inside check. Oh, I have a +3. Okay, cool. 17.
17. The impression that you get is that this person is just... I mean, for a start, they are mechanical. Entirely, from what you can tell.
Right.
And they're speaking about things in a very literal, very calm, almost nonchalant way. You detect no sense that they are trying to keep secrets or anything like that. They seem to just not really know much of anything. Like, you get a sense that they've just been set upon a task and have almost no knowledge of the world outside of that. You're getting a very one-track mind essence from this person.
Where did you come from, lad?
I came from a big tower.
Big
And
tower.
then I walked down a street.
And then I got in a carriage. I was put in a carriage. And then I was taken out of the carriage. And then they told me to find the person who lived there, go below, retrieve everything that is significant, return to the tower. That's what Boss said.
Do
Are
you
you
know
guys here
where
to help me?
this tower is located?
He pauses for a moment. Yeah.
Where is it located?
Back 2 streets, turn right. Back 4 streets, turn left. Back 10 streets, turn right. And he just starts recounting directions.
As he does this, because of my keen mind and because of me living or growing up in Highcrest, would I know where he's talking about if I circle back in my memory from Barbersan Manor and follow those directions in like my mind palace?
The directions begin to come forth, and on minute 3, you start to you're starting to struggle to maintain the memory of these things. This guy is recounting a journey across the entire city, street by street, turn by turn. I will say, give me a history check with disadvantage.
While Marcus has him talking, because this is my first time actually seeing this individual now, so getting a better look, do I see any insignia, namely the Psi insignia on him, and does he have his firearm on display at all, or is that?
The firearm is not on display from what you can see, but give me an investigation check, please.
That's a 25 with disadvantage.
Shit.
I rolled an 18 and a 15.
He continues on for several minutes, almost binarily chanting these directions. And as you're just about trying to hang on, you know that you're still in Highcrest, but then it moves down south towards Marble Garden. And when he stops, in your mind's eye, having followed these instructions, you find yourself, in your mind's eye, standing outside the Pillars of Governance.
Interesting.
Which is the main parliamentary building.
Quickly write that down in my journal.
Fuck's sake.
Interesting. Okay.
It's 14 on my investigation check, just so you know.
Can I bonus act before you give before you give him the result? Can I bonus action? I want Bardic Inspiration to give them a +6 to that roll, a D6 to it before you give them the outcome.
God, you
Dirty
give me
20.
you give
Dirty
me
20.
Bardic Inspiration. I had a +6 to shit that before. Fuck's sake. Right, sorry.
It goes after 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
30-20, you said?
Correct.
Okay. On the outside of this person's armor, body, clothes, whatever, you're not able to see any depictions of the psi symbol that you saw before from where he's sitting. The firearm you just see poking out of the lapel of his trench coat.
I don't see any other insignia or, like, you know, like a clasp. I think we've already I think Gil looked at this before. There was no, like, clasp on the trench coat, nothing like that.
Nope.
Right.
Are you guys gonna let me out of here?
No.
I really need to complete my mission.
Unfortunately not. We're guests here. This is Detective Digby Dungeon's office, and he's the true authority here, unfortunately. And you said earlier, Detective, that you weren't letting prisoners out until next Wednesday, right? After visiting hours, right?
What's Wednesday? Detective Digby Dungeon sort of goes, I don't recall saying anything of the sort.
I'm gonna kill this fucking puppet, man.
That's what
Lad.
I said.
I have a question. You said you've been trying to get through that portal for a while.
Yeah, you guys helped me through it. Can you help me now? I just need to complete my mission, then I can go back to sleep.
Just
You
answer my
destroyed the
question.
portal for us.
How
I
long-
wasn't allowed to let anyone else through, but, you know, you helped me, so help me again, please.
How long has it been since you've been given these orders?
I got here yesterday. I couldn't figure out the tube, the hole, the circle thing, so I just kind of waited for someone to come along and help me out. And then you guys turned up. You helped me out, so and now you've turned up again. I've just been kind of waiting here for the last 10 minutes. I think I went through the wrong hole. Ended up here.
Recent orders. Okay, good to know.
From yesterday. Just stop it, Dan.
Can I go up to Digby?
Yeah.
And sort of in a side conversation with him, say, so, Detective, from one PI to another,
Ah, fellow private investigator. I should have known.
the Commissioner has given us strict orders that if anyone else follows us here, they are not to leave this place until we say so. Now, obviously, you have this intruder already in the cell, and it would be of the utmost importance that he stays here until we can confirm with the Commissioner that he's allowed to be set free.
Couldn't agree more. But the old guy in the drunk tank, he's not going anywhere. I'll hand him over to the Commissioner first thing in the morning, soon as he arrives.
Hey, bought a bit of time, guys. Bought a bit of time. I'm going to take a play out of Lumiel's book here, and I'm stood next to the chest, and I keep kind of like sensing this knocker. I'm just, as I'm picking the last bits of the coins up, I'm just going to go, boop. I just kind of flip it, so I go boom once, and then just kind of stand there and lean over and just see if anything happens.
You lift it up,
Yeah.
drop it. There's a. The rest of you see Arturius sucked into the chest.
Right, well, I guess that's our cue.
Oh,
Like,
hold
his
on.
body distorts, almost becoming fluid, as it arches into the air and directly down into the bottom of the chest.
I'm
Is it similar to when we went through the portal?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Right, and she,
No, quite different.
Lumiel grabs the
Do you
item.
understand now, Lumi? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she
okay,
grabs
cool,
the
lesson learned.
items, puts her in her pocket. Just 2 seconds, and she runs to the desk,
Mhm.
grabs a piece of paper and a
Mhm.
pen. Just for me, can you sign this to your biggest fan?
Sure thing. Detective Digby Dungeon loves his fans.
What?
He's gone now.
What?
None of that.
I know.
You left.
He takes the piece of paper and he gives it a little swish around here, around the bottom corner.
Can't see you did.
I know you can't see me. I'm full working on that right now. This charge cable is terrible. He hands it back to you.
You can sell that on e-market.
Thank you.
You look at the signature,
Yeah.
and it is a triple D, and it is underlined in a very intricate and squiggly way, which almost seem to spell out the letters WB. Sorry.
WB. Okay. Right. Thank you so much. That means more than you know. Okay, should we go?
Always a pleasure to meet a fan.
Oh, and she kind of leans right in. Watch out for that one. And she kind of indicates Meryl.
Meryl, she's a peach.
She is Lady Luck. And gushes off.
Okay, you run off, and you see.
Jack-
You see,
yeah.
he raises the trilby cap, and you see his eyes for the first time, and they've got these kind of painted-on big bags under his eyes, and he looks shocked. And a look of horror stretches across his face.
Mouth flap agape.
Detective Digby. Just one final question before we go. That notebook of yours, when you wrote my friend's name in there, he appeared in the cell. Does it instantly imprison or teleport anybody to those cells?
If you go in my pocketbook, there's no getting away from me.
Okay. What if we're searching for the commissioner? Can you not summon the commissioner that way?
Smart kid. But unfortunately, that only works within the halls of my office.
Right.
Worth a shot.
I'm
Worth
gonna
a
go up
shot.
to
Very
Lad.
much, very well done, Dan.
So we need to clear some stuff up, and then we'll be able to let you out. But we
you
need to
gonna let
know
me out?
that you're not a threat to us. Now
Who are
you have
I don't
that
even
gun
know, I don't even know who you are. Why would I be a threat to you?
because when we first met you, you shot out a crystal that made a bunch of robots attack us.
What, the little box things?
Yes.
Oh no, those are just my friends. I didn't tell them to do that.
Well, the fact that we couldn't get away made them attack us. Now,
Oh,
you have a gun on you, and it's
Oh, yeah,
making
they-
us feel a bit unsafe, so I would need you to hand that over before we can let you out.
oh, okay. I'll stay here then. Someone else will come along.
I'll be fine. And he kind of just lounges back and reclines, puts his elbow on his knee again.
Nice meeting you guys. Thanks again for the help.
As I'm running back to the chest, hearing this, I wave my hand, and you see like sort of a fog, and I'm casting command
Okay.
to drop the weapon, or to hand over the weapon.
Okay.
It's
What do I
one
need
word, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
not,
it's one word.
to? Yeah.
Give-
What's the word gonna be?
Drop it.
disarm.
Disarm. Okay. What's the DC?
See, is it's a 13. It's wisdom 13.
He's still not his best stat. Oh, I rolled an 18. I'm so sorry.
That was worth it. So yeah, the fog kind of clouds his head, and then
He just kind of goes, no.
Worth a shot.
Sure. I mean, look, if you guys aren't, if you help me, I'll help you. I just need to take the things that are here and take them back to my boss.
What thing specifically?
You said the Modrons were your friends.
Those guys, they came with me. They were supposed to protect me.
Right. I turned towards the others, and like with my eyes, because I don't want to give any sort of sign towards him, I'm just gonna look left, right, as in shaking my fucking head without shaking my head.
Who are you guys?
We're the people getting out of here, and she's worried about how
Jax,
long it's been for
where else are you in
Artorias.
the room, Jax?
I think I've probably, because I had that chat with Digby, so I'm probably like halfway between, like here-ish, like still by the chest.
Yeah, okay. Jax. Your name's Jax. I know you.
How
Jax.
do you know me?
I don't know. You're Jax, right?
Me?
Are you here to help me? Are you on a mission too?
I am. Different to yours, though, I believe. Why won't you let us see your firearm?
It's mine. I need it.
Do you know how to use it? Properly? Effectively? Safely?
Yeah.
How sure are you of that?
He, in one fluid motion, just shoots, pulls out, and
At that moment, I want to do the same, and I would like to disarming strike.
Yes!
okay.
You fucking gangster.
He shoots this guy. And he hits him, and he kind of powers down.
A natural 20!
Nice.
Do I need to make a save to stop myself from being disarmed?
Yes, hang on, 2 seconds, I got overexcited, I didn't look. Strength save DC 15.
DC 15.
Does that count as a chunky crit?
And I don't want to deal damage, I'm literally aiming
Okay.
for the gun just to get it out of his hand.
Or is, yeah, is that okay? He rolled a natural 1,
Excellent.
which I'm very annoyed about.
Try and grab it.
So what I can do is I can push it 10 feet away.
hmm
I'm just thinking from the angle, I can't really ricochet it back. It'd end up. I'm just gonna push it 10 feet, ideally, you know, even if it's into this cell that we can reach through and grab it.
Why is no one worried about Artorias?
Yeah.
Meow one.
Last week everyone was like, no, don't, you've got a child. This week, oh, he's gone.
Well, I've accepted the fact that you don't give a shit.
I do just about
you
different
managed to
things.
you managed to shoot him in the bridge of the thumb as it goes, and it kind of flies off the thumb, and he goes, ah. Kind of doesn't react too much, just looks at his hand like, ah. But the gun clatters across the floor. As he does this, he leaps forward to try and reach for it.
I'm trying to catch the same.
Okay, make a dex check.
Natural 18.
Okay, he got a 13. So you reach out, you scramble for the gun, and his shoulder just hits against the bars, and you see his arm is just going thumbless. He's just kind of reaching constantly for this thing. Give that back. I need that.
Marcus,
I need that. Give that back. I need that.
Throw it to Jax.
kind of quickly like dismantle it, pop out the like barrel, just examine it, particularly looking for make, model. Is it familiar, similar?
Cool. Tinker Jules check, please.
Meow is
Um,
knocking the thing because she is worried about Artorias. So she is knocking
Okay.
the knocker to
So you've taken all of the magical items and anything else?
add the letter's still with me,
Yeah.
and the all the including the nose, even though she doesn't think it's magical, she is.
The nose might
she's
be the
taken
most important.
everything. This is what she's thinking.
Follow your
so
nose.
she took everything.
Okay, cool.
Did
So
you
you took
put the
everything from the
nose in the chest for a fucking pun?
No.
Oh, I
Okay,
hate you so much.
and you knock the thing,
Oh,
yeah?
I hate you so much.
Okay. You feel yourself pulled in, and you all see Lumi also going to the chest. What was your check, Jax?
17 plus 7, so 24.
Yeah, this is a firearm made by the Valgear.
Where did you get this? Who issued this to you?
Boss, give it back. I need that.
On whose authority? Your boss's, I assume?
Yeah,
What does
It's
your
part
boss
of me.
look like?
it's part of me.
What does your boss look like?
He looks like the boss.
Describe.
His mouth just goes agape. Not in a shocked way, his mouth just opens. I need it back.
Describe your boss.
His mouth opens again for about 10 or 15 seconds.
Is there someone on the other line? Is there someone through this? Someone listening?
Give me that back. I need it back.
What would happen if we didn't? If we didn't give this back to you? You failed your
Okay.
mission?
I'll go back to sleep. And then when next time I wake up, I'll come and get it back. It's part of me.
It's a part of you.
Jax, please. Jax, make a history check for me, please.
Oh my god. I just rolled 2 17s in a row.
Nice.
18.
18. Something about this voice, now that you've heard it a few times before, through the static, begins to sound slightly familiar, but you cannot place it.
Guys,
Jax, please. It's part of me.
you said... Who... I recognize you. Your voice.
I recognize you. Who are you? Who are all of you?
Digby? Can we return here?
Loved your little eyebrow raise as you go into character, Chris. That was sick.
My door's always open if there's a mystery afoot. You can always rely on Detective Digby Dungeon.
Digby,
That's my name.
did you write lad in the notebook? Or what's the name that you wrote?
I didn't write his name. He got
How
there
did
on
he-
his own. Came through the wrong door.
Do you have a name in your notebook if someone comes in through the wrong door?
I don't put a name in my notebook unless I've reason to.
And a name doesn't appear in your notebook unless you put it there, right?
That's right. You really are a PI.
Lad, state your rank.
Dan, screw up.
Sergeant,
Sergeant.
lad. Good lad. I need that back. Jax, please.
Sergeant.
Do I detect like genuine desperation in this creature's voice? Or
Insight check, please.
natural one?
It's difficult to tell. It could be fear, it could be confusion, it could be desperation. There's nothing to his persona that's desperate. He's still laid back, but his eyes are fixated on you. Still sitting in the same casual position, but the words are expressing something.
And just a quick reminder for us above table, DM.
Yeah.
We do not know, or we haven't stumbled upon, I think you said before, automatons.
No, this is something completely different, as far as you know.
Aye.
Now that you guys are sitting opposite this person, not just catching a glance of them before they disappeared through a portal, those remaining, please make me an Arcana check.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask a stupid question, but I'll ask it anyway because I have advantage on recalling information about Fey Fiends and Undead.
This is none of those things.
Okay, cool. Just double checking.
19.
22.
Arcana. That's 17.
17. Okay. None of you. The Marcus and Jax, no idea. Artemis Gill. You recall a faded memory, almost as if it's whispered into the back of your mind from a third party, of a case. Long ago, before you, shall we say, became Gill? From a
Okay.
period where you have very few memories since before the incident. There was a case. An artificer was creating very advanced automatons. He was assisted by a group of mages, though you can't recall the name. But it comes to you. This is a nimble right. It must be.
As sort of having been just sort of stood watching the team of Jax and Marcus kind of have at it with this automaton and avoiding gunfire and trying not to get in the way of things, he sort of listens intently, and then Jax, as he's talking and you're sort of questioning, you see Gil's sort of one bloodshot eye kind of move towards you, and then both of them as he sort of like, why is that such a... Oh, that is old. Jax, artificers. Very advanced automatons and a group of mages. This Nimblebright.
Right.
Nimblebright. This is what... That's a word that's coming that's associated with this thing. This is before I was... Before Artemis became Gil. This is old. This is really old.
Strange. You are not used to having memories from this far back.
I don't remember that far back. I haven't in a very long time. This is old, Jax. Oh, this is old.
It's okay. Whatever you can remember might be helpful, but nimble, right?
Nimblebright.
Group of mages.
Yeah. It was a case that I used to work on for the Crown's service, I think, or one I heard of, I don't know, but it was old, and they said artificer creating very advanced automatons with a group of mages. I don't know the name, I can't remember. But I know the word Nimblebright is something to do with this.
Just to correct you, Nimblewright, Nimblewright.
Right, so Arthur said bright.
Nimblewright.
Right.
I thought you were like saying it wrong on purpose.
Yeah, same.
No, I heard bright. Sorry, Nimblebright. That's what I heard.
Does kind of prompted mainly by the talk of a group of mages, does the word nimble right ring any sort of bell?
We can ask. We can find out from the little guy back at headquarters.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'm more confused that I've never seen anything like this, but I recognize the voice.
Oh, I'm concerned that I know that it's what it is, and it comes before I was now who I was then. I don't know.
You've taken my gun. I'm not a danger to you anymore. I never was. You're not my mission. We're both here
Where's
on
your
missions.
mission?
Let me out.
Can we just destroy it, please? This is it.
What I will do is, can I attempt to kind of wander a little bit, just kind of looking as though I'm like checking on something at the desk again, and can I like deactivate, disarm, break a triggering mechanism or whatever it might be to make the gun non-functional?
Are you trying to break it, or are you trying to disassemble it so that it can be reassembled again later? Or are you trying to make it?
Ideally, I would like to remove a key component that so it cannot be fixed unless it has the key component, and I'm going to hold on to the key component.
Okay, you give me a Tinker Tools check, please.
Dirty 20.
Yep, you sort of take off the barrel and you remove the firing pin and slot it back together. It's now inactive. It will not fire.
Okay. The whole point of me going aside was I meant to say, can I try and subtly do that? Should I do a sleight of hand check as well?
Yes. Do that then.
That's a... What did I have? +4, so that is a 13.
I'll go and pick up the thumb.
You do this, and as you turn back around, you see that good lad's eyes have not always. His head is just faced towards you the whole time.
Kind of like seeing that he's not good at being subtle. He's just kind of takes it out. Just goes, "This is the condition. You seem so hell-bent on waiting for somebody to aid you. What you will do is you will take this gun back. You will have your weapon returned to you, but you will wait again until we return."
I only
And we'll
follow
get
the
you.
boss's orders. I can only follow the boss's orders. You're not the boss, you're Jax.
You have no free will at all.
What do you mean?
Free will. The ability to make choices for yourself.
I hid. I waited.
That was all part of the wider plan for the mission.
I chose to do that. To complete the mission.
Did you choose or were you ordered to?
I was ordered to complete the mission.
Exactly, you did not choose to engage in anything. If you were to choose, right now, mission aside, what would you want to do?
Complete the mission.
You
Let
are
me
not
out.
allowed to say complete the mission. What would you want to do?
Just stares at you blankly.
Because I don't think any of these things are built for decision-making capabilities. Digby Dungeon over there only returns to his original setting once you ask too many questions that go beyond what he knows how to answer. These things work as in the story. He's only built to follow everything within what I assume is the box within what he's been programmed to do. There's nothing in there. Or if there is, it's really held strong to do what it's supposed to and then nothing else.
Why does he remember you?
That's the thing that's bugging me most.
Maybe it's not a memory, maybe it's just a saved set of names that if they should come up, it would recognize as...
If it was a saved
Someone
set of
important.
names, it would be Lieutenant Westwood. It wouldn't be Jax.
Jax, let me out. Come on, buddy.
Why do you keep changing what you say?
Turns his head to you. What do you mean?
You keep adding words every time you talk to Jax. There's a new one every so often. Something's happening to you.
He looks back at Jax. I recognize you. Who are you
Recognize your
guys?
voice.
Are you gonna let me out?
It's back on loop. What do we do, guys?
Leave.
Leave. We need to get back to Arthur and Lumi anyway.
Digby.
Is that gun better than yours in any way?
It's Valgear issued. It's pretty standard.
I have a gun.
Guess leave the gun with Digby.
No.
Oh.
Awesome. It's just.
I will. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna purposefully
Anything to
leave.
stop the voices.
I'm gonna purposefully leave the gun with the firing pin removed on this desk. Kind of purposefully like leave it and do like a purposeful like look towards this entity.
Mhm.
I kind of give a nod before I head to the chest.
Can I take a final look at Lad?
Now
Now
you
that I've
turn
seen him
round, and Lad is now standing in the cell. Just in the
Absolutely
centre of
fucking
the room.
perfect.
Oh, that's creepy.
Can I see the psi symbol on him?
Make a perception check.
$21.
21. No, you do not see the psi symbol on him, but you see just inside, as his jacket is slightly open, the symbol of the Valgear on the interior pocket. And he just stares. See you guys around. Thanks for the help.
See you around, Sergeant.
So long, good lad.
Is there any way we can take him with us?
It's not safe. If we took him with us, we'd have to allow him to complete his mission because he's going to continue to fight us if we drag him around to different places, try and get him off course. We don't know what his mission was or what he was supposed to collect, but if he can collect, he's going to. Without his gun, presumably, which is safer, but still.
I'm so glad you asked that question while the three most reasonable people are in the room. You just hear a fake whisper, "Don't you fucking dare!" I'm joking. You do what you want. Do what you want.
What are you guys doing?
Meow
I'm
goes,
kidding.
Yes.
What are you guys doing?
Close the chest, hearing the voice. No.
Look, if Digby, how long are you going to keep him in lockup for?
Here until the commissioner arrives.
Okay, so this thing's going to stay here for as long as it needs to when Commissioner gets back. So if we find Waldron before that, we can use this thing as a giant homing pigeon.
Yeah.
So let's just.
We'll come back. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right.
It's okay, Jax.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm just confused
know.
by a lot.
Welcome to my world. That's my life. As he grinds the knocker and just goes bang.
So let's just wrap on a knocker in a chest and head down. What is my life now? And just kind of follows.
About 15 minutes prior to everything we've just seen. Arturius,
Yeah.
you lift the knocker and drop it and sort of step away so as not to suffer any consequences, but unfortunately it's too late. You have knocked the knocker and you are dragged. You feel your body contort and stretch, not in an uncomfortable way, just in a very strange way.
Okay.
You are dragged through what feels like the eye of a needle, and you reappear about 2 feet or about a foot above a bed, and you land
Fuck.
in the bed.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Party guys.
And that is where we are going to leave this week's session.
Oh no.
Us again!
No, indeed.
Oh, so this is how this feels.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Amazing.
This is fine. I'm just gonna be. If someone opens the door, I'll be like, "You didn't sign for your parcel."
I'll deliver.
Not a bad plan. It seems like Waldron Barbazan likes a soft landing when he leaves Detective Digby Dungeon's office.
I don't know. I'm just not going to say anything. And when they open the door, I'm like, I've been waiting for my breakfast in bed for 3 days.
Well, we'll get to what you hear and see around you as you land on this soft down bed. You sort of fight your way out of the pillows, and we'll pick up there next week. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this week. It's been one full of puzzles, full of mystery, full of parlor games, and a few more questions to be mulling over, and a few more clues to be deciphering, which I'll let these guys maybe do over the next week. But we will be back next Tuesday, right here on Tales on Tap, the next episode of Aerilon, Sins of the Peacekeeper. Thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for joining me, and we'll see you next week.
Bye!
Ta-ta!
Bye.